All right, let's see if that ends up working. Hopefully it does. That'd be nice. Yeah, draft hasn't started yet. Yeah, working on X. That's a beautiful thing. And here we are. Working on YouTube as well. And threw that in the chat there. Okay, not super. Quinn sign makes me nervous. Yeah, I mean, I can hear myself. That's brutal. Quinn signing makes me nervous. Yeah, I mean, it was more than I wanted to sign him for like sure, probably like $1 million more, but it also makes me nervous for Ryan McLeod and what his contract could look like because like I was kind of thinking maybe like 2.5 for Quinn. I know that might be rich for some people's blood too, but just kind of where I had it. And then maybe around like 5.5, like 5.5 for McLeod. Again, we have to realize that these, incremental increases each year are going to be pretty substantial. Now I don't know what McLeod's going to get. After that
Yeah,
signing
except
of Quinn.
I think that Quinn contract, though, even with the increase in cap, is still way too much. Like, I know some of that price is probably baked into his status as a prospect, like his potential, but just for what he's given us in the NHL, especially the last 2 seasons, I think that's probably double what he's worth, and not too dissimilar from that Krebs contract last offseason, where it's just something where it's like, I wasn't really expecting this guy to be in the lineup next year, but I guess we'll give him 2 years and see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's also one of those things where do you really want him in your top 6? And then it gets back to the conversation. They have like 7 third line forwards or like they have a whole bunch of bottom line forwards. So who gets forced up there? And still don't know really what's going on when it comes to the Byram stuff, but where are we getting those points from Paterka and like sorry for being negative, but just being like, oh well, some of them will make them up. It's like that's not how it works. You need skilled players to do that. It's not you just remove Paterka and then that production just gets made up by others in the aggregate. It just doesn't work that way. So that's a little scary too, gotta say. Well, did you want to get to your mock draft before we actually get the draft going here? There's a bunch of topics I want to get to, but
I should probably be able to pull this up. I haven't been on Twitter probably the last 5 hours, so I don't know if any rumors or stuff came out there where it's one guy's going somewhere. So
let's give it a look.
Yeah, this is as of about 4 or so hours ago. So yeah, I think Schaefer, I feel like he's a lock to go one of the Islanders. I think Sharks, I think Misa's clearly second best available. I think the Sharks just like to play around pre-draft, but I think they go him. Frondell to Chicago, Desnoyers to Utah. And then I got Roger McQueen. I think he's a wild card. I don't really know what Nashville's going to do here, but Barry Trotz made some comments that he thinks Roger McQueen has number 1 center potential. Predators need a number 1 center in their pool, so I figured might as well go McQueen at 5, Brady Martin at 6. I don't think that'd be a great pick for Philly, but it's such a Philly pick that I had to put him there. Porter Martone to the Bruins. They need a little bit of everything. Then I got the Kraken. This pick's going to be interesting because, everyone thinks they're going to go defense here just because it seems like they go forward earlier in the draft every time. And they picked up Berkeley Cadden last draft. So, that makes me think they might not lean towards Higgins if he's there. And then obviously Sabres with the steal of the draft here to start things off with James Higgins. Now, I'm still skeptical that this will happen because I made this mock draft pre the Noah Dobson trade. So now that the Islanders have some ammo to move up, I do think if Higgins slips that far, like even a team like Seattle, I could see moving back in the draft. And there's been rumors with Nashville and Utah too, so that could
I
be
was
enough
gonna
to
say,
get that done.
if it's not
So
Utah, I was going to go Nashville. So, yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Not ideal for the Sabres. And then Jake O'Brien going 10. He's a guy kind of slipping a bit. He's someone where, I could easily see him sneaking into that 5, 6, 7 range. I think he's someone who the teams that like him really like him. And I think that's really going to be the thing with this draft is we don't really know which teams are like really high on these guys. So I think it's going to be kind of a wonky top 10. I think we'll see stuff all over the place because I think there could be a team that has Jake O'Brien number 3 on their board. There could be a team that has Brady Martin number 3. There could be a team that has Frondell at 2. Like there could just be so much variety in the top of this draft.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much after 1 and 2, people are wondering what's going to happen now. Frondell's been linked to the Sharks as well. So if Misa drops, he's probably not going to make it past Chicago there either, and Chicago's not going to budge on that. So yeah, I mean, there's just been so many different scenarios I've seen. It's one of those things where I'm glad I'm not the one trying to predict this stuff, and I'm more of a react after it happened kind of position here. So I like the logos that you're able to pull as well.
No, yeah, I did pull up some like alternate logos on there.
Let's go ahead and let's show the people the attire you got on for the evening here. So
Sure,
show them what you got.
Move my camera down a bit. I got the Sam Lafferty graphic sweater on. Favorite Sabres player, Brown University legend, Pittsburgh Penguins legend, Toronto Maple Leafs legend.
That's great.
It's all around legend.
Got a comment here from Ian that says, for me, Quinn had 0 leverage, so I don't see why he got the money. Give him like 1.5 and tell him to deal with it. Yeah, frankly, like I agree with that, but they also had the leverage with Peterka.
Yeah.
And so we saw how that went. So I mean, yeah, it's more than I would pay him for sure. But 1, I don't think they're going to be spending to the cap. And 2, I did try to take into account that the cap is rising, but yeah, I mean, anything over 3 was just too much, quite frankly. But what are you going to do, folks? That is, it's also one of the things where you've heard people's frustrations with essentially giving people like guys contracts that they didn't earn. We're talking Samuelson. So I saw, like, especially when people were after Power as well. Who else? There's someone else that I'm trying to Cousins, obviously. Always it feels like, I don't know, sometimes it feels like just yesterday, like Cousins was on the team, but then also feels like 3 years, like he's been gone for forever. So yeah.
That's with a lot of Sabres stuff. Like I feel like it's easy to forget that, Sam Reinhart was on this team in 2021. That feels like it was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
But it was only 4 years ago. And same thing with Eichel. He was on the team that same year. Ristolainen too. Like that whole era seems like it was so long ago, but it's really only 4 years. And I think that kind of shows like just how much can change with an NHL team. Because I do think a lot of people I see, they project out like depth guys being like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be a killer player in the lineup for 7-8 years. Yeah. Like sure, Zemgus Girgensons did that, but for the most part, like those depth guys are moving around, those star guys are moving around. So, perfect example for tonight with the draft. You just got to go best player available. Like just keep adding talent, just keep having like an unlimited supply of talent coming in. If you can't move the pick, just make the best pick you can. I think drafting because of need is absolutely insane, especially for a team like the Sabres where they missed the playoffs this season. Like, who knows what Rasmus Dahlin's going to demand in the offseason or Tage Thompson. So I find it crazy kind of picking based off of needs with this current group. I just wouldn't do that. I'm going best player available, and I think the Sabres will do that as well.
Yeah, but there's also people that are saying the Sabres have been amassing talent, but not guys like team guys, if that makes sense.
It's low end talent though. Like we're not even talking about guys that have been able to crack an NHL lineup. Like sure, like Roseanne of Oslin, I think have gotten games at the NHL level, obviously, but I wouldn't necessarily say those guys are locks to be NHLers. And I think that's just the nature of the game when you're picking outside of the top 10, especially in the teens. You're not always going to get an NHLer. And I still think those two guys were worth the gamble at the time, but it just didn't work out. So I wouldn't be too fearful of, you obviously don't want to try to pick a similar player type to that because those two didn't work out. But I wouldn't let that be fearful or cause me to be fearful about, picking skill in this year's draft.
All right. We got a comment on Twitter from Max saying GMK gets too much hate for the Peterka trade. Actually, as of today, like over the course of today, it's like over the course of yesterday, it grew on me and then it did a little bit more today. Do I still think that comparison that you made when it comes to buying a lesser gift card for things that you want more of makes a lot of sense? And I do like the two players. I just wish Josh Stone had that, like, at least could viably play every day in like the second line kind of offensive upside. Like all the other
Yeah.
things for sure, but like that's the one thing that really just kind of kills me. So that's still where I'm at when it comes to you didn't get maximum value. But I was trying to do the thought exercise of what would make me say that was fair. Would like a second round pick does it have to be that pick swap that people were talking about? Would a second round pick suffice if you got that from Utah? I'm trying to figure out what else would be needed for everyone to be like, okay, stamp of approval kind of thing. So
I think Barrett Hayden, in my opinion, if they're able to get him instead of Doan in that trade, I think that would have been the perfect trade. I would even have tossed in a second round pick from Buffalo's then to get that done. Because I think Hayden, he's someone who is like a higher end Ryan McLeod almost. I think there's some limitations in his game, but I do think there's a lot of untapped offensive potential there. Absolutely dominant on both sides of the puck. Plays center too, which the Sabres need, and I think he can play with skill. So if they're able to manage someone like that and, not have to worry about playing Josh Norris at center, playing Yuri Kulik at center, I think that would have been an A-plus trade in my book. But, a third, fourth line winger, maybe the potential to slide up to a second line in a utility role, that's just, not crazy enticing.
people are loving Gary. Oh, he's walking around. It's like he's given. It's like he's announcing a new iPhone. One last thing that we have here from the comments. TJQ with "Don't give up on Ostlund yet." I actually was thinking about him earlier. Like, I still think he just needs that seasoning. We always knew this. I don't want people to start rushing him. He still probably needs at least another year. I was looking at him and Anton Wahlberg. I definitely want them in Rochester next year. Don't necessarily want to give up on him yet, for sure. But at the same time, if you are bringing back something that is of value, especially at center, a play-driving, play-making center, if Ostlund's part of maybe a larger deal for someone like that, I'd be certainly down for that.
Yeah, I mean, he's interesting just because I watched him at the World Juniors for Sweden. I thought he was the best player on the ice for that team. I thought he was the best player on the ice in that tournament. And he was good in Rochester too. I think the main question with him is just, can a guy that plays his type of game work? Because I feel like a lot of the sub 6 foot forwards we see in the NHL are all guys that are, inside driven. Like they're willing to cut inside. They get their shots from dangerous areas. Like that's what Benson does. Then a guy like Marco Rossi, that's what he does. So can like a perimeter game work for like a, sleight of frame forward? I guess we'll find that out eventually, but that's kind of why I'm still somewhat skeptical of what he can do in the NHL. But he does have the skill to cut inside. I think this is going to be a big season for him in Rochester. I think this will be a make or break season for him. I think if he doesn't have a crazy offensive production season, I think he'll fall in that like Roseanne category where it's like great AHL score, not NHL guy. So I think very important season coming up for him.
Man, trying to listen to your great analysis of of Usland, but listening to Gary start yelling about God knows what, I had to mute him. All right. Not exactly sure what everyone's standing up for and clapping, to be completely honest, but that's where we're at in the draft. So, is it just like draft picks standing up? Hey, good for them.
Are making some changes to our YouTube stream. I added our thumbnail to there, so
Okay.
I guess next time we do something like this, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that was an interesting experience.
I do know what we should have done, and I'll talk to you about that later on. It's learning lesson, but at the
It's
same
still
time,
StreamYard rookies.
yes, absolutely. But we're also doing this for live streaming while watching Sabres games. That's what we're looking forward to do this season. So instead of shouting into a void into Twitter or something like that, we'll be shouting into our microphones and having a good time, and appreciate everyone that's commented already. But we'll be doing more of that during the season as well to discuss what's going on. Sorry, Gary, I gotta mute you. We'll be able to discuss what's going on during Sabres games. Oh boy.
I don't think I'm mentally prepared for Sabres games this season. I might have a mental breakdown live on one of these streams.
Might start crying. Not the heavy stuff, but just like a single tear, and they've blown a 4-goal lead and just
yeah. I'm just thinking about like opening night, like a line with Norris and Quinn on it. I might actually that might be it for me. I don't think I could do that.
So many finishers, no playmakers. Here we go. All right, I don't know what Gary's doing. He's checking in with. Okay. Islanders are on the clock. I wonder how long it's going to take them.
Yeah, I was just going to say with Matthew Schaefer, I thought it was really cool when he came to Buffalo. I was watching that like ESPN thing they did on the 2025 draft class, and he visited like a local like grief center for like teens and kids in Western New York, like when he was in town for the combine. And I thought that was really cool for him to speak there because, obviously he lost his mom to breast cancer when he was just 16 years old. And he was able to battle through that, build up his stock as a prospect, just like continue working and, doing it all in the honor of his mom. So it's really cool to see. And it's going to be a really emotional moment for him and his family too, when he gets selected. Probably more emotional than we've ever seen for a first overall pick. So that's going to be, a great moment when he gets selected first overall to the Islanders.
Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, absolutely devastating for what happened to him and his family, but a great story. And look, the Islanders, they have a pretty good fan base out there on the island. I go down there a few times a year, and it's a good spot, new rink as well. And yeah, I think he'll really like it. It's good for the Metro teams to have that rivalry, and I'm sure he'll be part of it. So that's pretty good. Oh wow, they have a lot of. You see all those jerseys that they had? That's at NHL Draft. They must be like signing them and giving them away or something like that. That was a lot of them.
That was pretty wild.
All right, let's hop over to the chat. I saw something come up here. Yeah, just another, someone agreeing, basically saying, yeah, splendid, basically saying, would have just given Quinn the qualifying offer and said, take it or leave it. Fair enough. I can understand that. I do. I always just kind of thought it was going to be like a 2-year, like 2.75 kind of contract here. All right, pick is in. Hey, Mike, appreciate you having you here. Let's listen to Gary.
Awesome to see Schaefer there.
Yep. Matthew Schaefer. It's the first overall pick. Definitely emotional, as you said. Great to see them, have this moment for their family, and just the beginning, but definitely something to be proud of for them. So we do have a little bit of footage of Matthew Schaefer, courtesy of Walt. So we're going to fire this up so people can kind of see what's going on here. It's a little laggy. Apologies for that. There's not much we can do about that, unfortunately. But as you can see, Puck carrying defenseman.
Oh, damn, that's really laggy.
It is
I guess
very
maybe you
laggy.
can
Okay.
we'll just pull it off.
Yeah, we're gonna stop doing that to you guys. Obviously, not something we do commonly. Man, we've shown video before though, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't like that. So, okay, well, there goes one plan that we had for the night. Sorry, everyone, but I'm sure they're going to be showing stuff on the draft as well. So,
Yeah. No, yeah, you're probably better off just watching your TV for
yeah,
highlights
that
versus that looked like those gifs that would be like very low quality and just like churn out very slowly.
no, we do though. We yell at Walt. That makes it better.
Yeah, no, that's my fault. It might be because I'm in a basement too. I don't know if that's like
I think
throwing things
we
off.
are having our connection is unstable, so yeah, not great. But okay, what else do we have here in the chat? When hold on, I got to pull this up. When the Columbus game where they scored 10 goals on us happened, my friend got dumped and that he was consoling me. That's great. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of that. Possibly this. I shouldn't say there will be. There could be a lot of that going on this upcoming season. And Splendid, I'm banking on you to be the one consoling me. So, gonna need you this upcoming season. Here we go. Here's another one from Bip. The team trades with New York Islanders to allow them to get Higgins. We did chat about this a little bit earlier. I'm assuming you probably just weren't around or anything like that. No biggie. But Utah or Nashville. I think, did you mention Philadelphia possibly as well if he does slip that far? But I'm going to put my eggs in the. But you did say that Nashville likes Porter Martone. So I think Utah's really the one we're looking at. I don't know if that'll happen. So just in the 4 to 6 range for me. What about you, Walt?
For Higgins?
Oh, you get to listen into listening to him. Oh man, you just got to stand there and just pour from the heart. That's got to be tough for the kid. I mean, it's great, but a lot of kids are going to be.
This is different with the. I forgot that's the decentralized draft this year.
Yep. I mean, he handled it like a champ, especially while he's being, obviously emotional as he should be. And I mean, those are the conversations that you usually see them chatting on. You see them chatting on the stage with each other. So it's kind of interesting to hear the first words. Well, I mean, maybe not the first words, obviously, but after being drafted by the team, the first words between them. So feel bad for the kid because he's, emotional, but at the same time, it's really exciting for him. Saw this as well. Mike brings up a good point here. Walt, what are your thoughts on Austin, Texas wanting an expansion team? What do you think about that?
I think that's going to be interesting. Like, I do think there's a market for pro sports there.
Yeah.
Just because they obviously don't have a pro sports team. Like, University of Texas is huge there. I actually lived there for a little bit. When I lived there, I was when the Stars made it to the Cup Finals, and it didn't really seem like a lot of people there really cared. I think some people knew they're in the Cup Finals, but no one really watched hockey there. But I do think there's potential for those people to start watching hockey because I feel like Austin's got a ton of transplants, and hockey seems kind of like that hipster transplant that moved to a new city type of sport to get into. Kind of like that. I mean, I should say they do have the soccer team there, but in terms of Big Four, they don't have a pro sports team. So I think hockey kind of fits in with like soccer as well, where it's that kind of like niche sport that people that move to Austin, Texas tend to get into.
Well, that's the thing. You hear about kids that like, if you hear a story about a kid that grew up playing Texas, they're like, yeah, we traveled 4.5 hours so we could go play somewhere else kind of thing and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't think Austin would be first on my list, but at the same time, I can understand why, because it is, gaining popularity and a lot of people are moving there. So we'll see. maybe the NHL wants to see if that kind of residential boom kind of tapers off and people start moving out or something like that, or if it keeps up, I can understand getting another one there. But I think if they put one in Austin, they're definitely not putting one in Houston. So I think the NHL needs to decide what's going on there.
Yeah.
So there's that. What do we have here from Ian? Not sure I buy Hagens will drop. Totally possible, of course, but I don't think it will happen. I don't think he gets past 5 or I don't think he gets past 5. And that's why I think the Islanders are going to be heavily pursuing that, because obviously interested to see what San Jose does here, because they've been linked to Frondell instead of Misa. So 5, maybe 6 is probably where I'd say Misa. Or not Misa, excuse me. Well, yeah, if Misa made it to 6, that'd be crazy, but I don't think Hagens is going to make it to 5 or 6.
We'll see. I think there is a way Martone and Hagens could fall. A lot of it starts maybe not right here at 2, because, it does seem like they're going to go with, kind of the number 2 or 3 guy, but they can kickstart it here by going off the board. But yeah, Matthew Schaefer, another cool thing too is he wears number 48 because of Danny Briere.
Oh, that's sweet. Too bad another Briere that was in Erie this past year had a not so good one, to say the least.
Yeah.
That was bad. If you know, you know. I don't want to explain that one, but that was bad. That wasn't Danny. Danny wasn't there.
Yeah, Danny would never do that.
No, Danny would never. What is this? Imagine talking about whether Jack Quinn can bounce back. Nice. Some overpriced tacos at a there's a lot going on there, Splendid. I don't even know what's happening.
Is my stream lagging on your end? I just want to make sure I'm good.
They're a little laggy for me, a little bit, but yeah, maybe one of the viewers might be able to help us out a little bit, letting us know.
Might switch locations real quick, do a stealth location change.
Stealth location change? I like that. Oh, okay. I'm getting it. Now. It's all coming together, Splendid. It's all coming together. Oh, God. It's been a week, folks. It's been a week. It's been a day. Oh. Over caffeinated. Now it's starting to wear off. Next to a podcast studio. I wonder what podcast you're talking about, pal. Couple plaid jackets for the Schaefer boys. I support that.
His brother's a former Niagara Ice Dog too.
Mike Greer looks like he's big chilling. Mike Greer's a stud. Do you see what Mike Greer came out and said the other day? It's like, yeah,
no.
About the taxes. He's like, I don't care about the taxes. Taxes aren't a thing. I'm like, oh. All right.
Maybe he doesn't have to care what that team he's building. They got some talent, and this pick too will add to it.
That's true. Yeah. Do we think Brian Rust to the Sabres will actually happen or no? I definitely think they're interested. I just don't want them to overpay for someone on the backside of 30 that essentially has like the same, kind of looks like the same metrics as JJ Peterka, but at least JJ Peterka has the potential to improve his defensive metrics. At this point, Brian Rust is Brian Rust. Like, that's who he is. And I believe what was it? His expected goals against per 60 is just horrendous. So yeah, that's a massive concern, and I worry that they overvalue Brian Rust. But if they can get him in here maybe for a cheaper cost, again, way too many dudes in your bottom 6, but it's someone. What do you think, Walt?
Not a fan, especially like kind of that rumored trade of where it would be the 11 for 9 swap and Sabres would have to add in Constantinius. Hellenius. I just think that's too much for a guy that kind of feeds off of just being a Pittsburgh Penguin. Like, I don't know if his point production would be the same in Buffalo. Like, he does some stuff really well. I think he could be a useful piece, but at that cost, it's kind of like I almost don't even want to keep the pick at that point because I think you'll push yourself out of that range of, where a guy like Hagens or even maybe a guy like Martone could fall to. I think if you push yourself back to 11, I mean, not too dissimilar from last draft where they pushed themselves back and they couldn't capitalize on like a Zeev William following or Sam Dickinson going at their pick. So, that's one of the reasons I don't like it. It just reminds me too much of last year, but Rust is a fine player. I think he'd be a nice addition. I just wish he wasn't 31.
And he's like he would be a good locker room guy too. He's been there. He's had success. He's been in the playoffs. Or Gary getting booed. I got a wrestler making the pick. Okay. I was wondering how many celebrities are going to trot out since they're in Los Angeles.
They should have gotten Joey Chestnut, Bay Area legend.
Joey Chestnut. All right, let's make this pick.
All right, come on now.
All right, crowd work. Love it.
2 for 2 so far.
Yep. Okay. Little smoke and mirrors with Frondell there, but good for Michael Misa. Good for Michael Misa.
Mike Greer kind of manipulating that betting market. I wonder if he dropped $1 million on Misa going too.
That'd be crazy. That'll be a 30 for 30 10 years from now. Mike Greer fired as GM, making bets on his players he was going to take. Oh man,
that's why I never understood why that betting market's legal. Because like even if you're like an insider, like how do they prevent these guys from like tipping off their friends and like
how do you know?
I mean, obviously, they probably know if like someone put $250K on like Porter Martone going 6 that.
It was like that one dude that got banned from Toronto that was on the Toronto Raptors where like he was like
crazy.
It's like end of the bench guy, and they would like he had someone betting all these like crazy things.
Yeah.
They were betting so much money on such obscure things. They were like, obviously this is fishy.
Yeah, you come out every game injured too after like a minute to always hit the under. Like you're probably doing something there.
Unbelievable. terrible behavior. Let's get back to the chat because people are actually blowing it up, and we appreciate you for doing that. If we trade the pick, what will the Goo Goo Dolls do? I mean, just give me Iris. Give me an Iris performance or something like that.
Iris in the rain.
Oh man, doesn't it touch your heart? That's such a good video.
Probably the greatest live music performance of all time, at least top 10.
I think it's in the top 10. I think I actually saw someone ranking top 10s and it was in the top 10. I 100% think it's in the top 10. I'll never forget though, they played when I was living in Philadelphia. They ended up coming down to Philadelphia for 4th of July, which, happy holidays, everyone. And they came down there and apparently like the people backstage gave what's their lead singer's name?
Johnny Resnick.
Thank you, Johnny Resnick. They must have given him the wrong guitar, and he starts like playing a song, and he's like, "That's the wrong guitar." It was acoustic guitar, and he just flings it and just tosses it off stage. You just hear a crash, and everyone's just like, "Oh my god!" He just chucked his guitar. That was hilarious. All right, here we go. Another one here. Sabres take up. Yeah, Mikey. Oh, there's delay with it. How do people feel about this? Players standing in front of the mic and talking to them.
A little strange.
Yeah, it kind of makes me uncomfortable. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, a little Black Mirror type of vibe there. And, it's kind of like a lot of things the NHL does. They either hit a home run or it's like extremely weird and
Just
awkward.
weird. Yeah,
And
definitely
it's
odd.
like definitely not the league to like try to do this new stuff with, because the players themselves are so awkward that it just makes for like,
that's a tough situation. Like, that's not easy,
yeah,
like that's just a tough situation. So I
no,
don't
yeah, it's
blame you.
such, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I don't like it. I'm glad
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're going back to centralized next year,
yeah, I
which
think they
will
are
be
too.
better.
So yeah. Okay, so let's get to this. If the Sabres take another center, will the Sabres move one of their many prospects out? I feel, excuse me, like they are thick of potential second line center guys. Well, they don't have any second line center guys now, really. I mean, in my opinion. So I do think they will probably. I would think they're probably trying to get rid of Roseanne, not get rid of, but like Roseanne's probably one that they're
Yeah,
looking to push through. Um, I do. I do believe if they bring in another center, they might try to get rid of one of those prospects. I would like for them to try to keep Osland and Wahlberg just to kind of see what happens next year and see how they progress. But Roseanne is definitely one that I think would be on the block. Anyone else that you're thinking of?
I think in terms of centers, I think Oslin. I think he's a guy who can move to the wing. Hellenius, I think, is a guy you're gonna want playing center. And it's
Yeah,
going to be interesting with McLeod getting that long contract, and then Hellenius eventually. I mean, I hope McLeod gets that long contract, but
I
I
do too.
assume
Yeah.
he will. But when Hellenius comes up, they'll be up at the same time in a similar-ish role, so that will be kind of interesting to keep track of.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Are they planning for the first round to take 6 hours? Pace is absolutely, yeah. And this is like when they know what's going on, and there's like probably less trade
Yeah.
talks, at least between the teams that are picking. Like these were the fastest ones. Walt and I, we're gonna grab a pillow. I'm gonna end up sleeping on that couch right there. Um,
At least they're not doing a day 2 stream, because I feel like tomorrow might actually take 7 hours with it being
yeah.
decentralized.
I was thinking about it, but yeah, just how slow this is going. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if we can.
It's
We're
going to
probably
be
gonna
like
end up
that
doing a
COVID
recap
year.
video. Yeah, that was a lot.
That was a
A lot.
crazy second to seventh round. It took forever.
Oh gosh. We'll definitely have some kind of recap video. I'm not sure, kind of schedule wise what's gonna work out for us, but we will get some kind of recap video. I gotta mute these fellas. Yeah, the Zoom call, people aren't loving it. Walt, didn't you attend the Super Cringe Award show last year?
Yeah, I was there. It was
I remember
like
missing it.
such an odd experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't great.
Yeah, because you had a bunch of no nonsense guys there, like McKinnon and Kucherov, probably the two biggest no nonsense guys in the league.
Yeah.
So to see them try to do like fun stuff with they got that like comedian that does like voice impressions. I never heard of him before. I know Jared heard of him before. Apparently he's like TikTok famous, and he was just like pissing off McKinnon, especially Kucherov. Kucherov was like legitimately like extremely upset, and it was like so awkward. And then they shoot off these confetti cannons. It hangs on the lights they have in front of the stage. So if you watch the show, you'll see like these shadows moving over the players' faces. That's because they shot off these confetti cannons like into the players' families, and it got all caught on the light fixtures too. It was a disaster.
Ugh. Award shows are they're always weird. I don't
Yeah.
watch any of them. Hockey, football, what like entertainment, not like music, movies, stuff. Like no, I don't care. It just stinks. It's just my personal preference. Is that something you enjoy? Don't let me crap on it too much. But it's not my thing. Okay, Chicago pick is in. What do we got? Gary.
Decent amount of Blackhawks fans there. Who is that? Oh, Jeremy Roenick. That's kind of lame. I feel like they could have done something cooler than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been a huge Jeremy Roenick fan. It's not like I hate the guy, but not a huge fan. What do you think, Frondell maybe? Or I guess you're going by your you're going by your list
I
there.
think it's got to be Frondell.
Okay. Oh, where'd that list go? I miss your list. Got to get rid of these videos.
I have no audio right now, so I'm just trying to read lips.
You just thank some firefighters and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'll accept that, I guess.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to like poo-poo that. That is important.
There we go. I mean, pretty chalk so far. Frondell would have been my third best player, but in terms of expectations, he was expected to go 3. And, like we talked about earlier, like the teams that love Frondell, like they think he's like a Barkov Kopitar light. So they truly think he has number 1 center potential. I kind of doubt that a little bit, but I guess we'll see. I think he is an interesting prospect.
Oh God, we're gonna have to listen to Kevin Adams speak tonight. You're GD, right? We will. Honestly, I don't know. Like we'll see how the night progresses. That might be something I stick around and react live to as well, just for the what and giggles.
Can we get a lag check on my stream? Are we doing good?
Could we get a lag check on my stream? Because you knew the pick before I even saw what it was.
No, I'm actually watching on something different because my Wi-Fi is so bad. I can't even watch it on. So I know there's a few second delay now.
Okay. Sure. Well, I mean, there's also just like the delay of our stream as well. So
yeah,
along with
because we don't want to spoil it for everyone else. So yeah, hopefully we're not faster than people's streams at home.
I highly doubt that. My streams that I usually watch for the games or whatever is usually slower than other people. Like people will let's say, I'm on Twitter while the Sabres are playing, like someone will be like blank score and I'm like, wait, what? And I look up, I'm like, oh, okay, well, there it is.
Yeah. Same with me. I mean, I was watching on some sketchy websites, so that's probably why.
Okay, what do we got here? From here to around the Sabres pick is probably the most intriguing part of the draft. Yeah, I'd say like from here to what? Like
here's
10,
where
11.
It starts.
Yeah, it's where definitely where it starts, yeah. All right, let's see. See what the Islanders can do, trying to get Higgins. I would like to see that. A Long Island guy playing for the
definitely.
Like, that'd be good. I like a nice story.
I love the hometown stuff. I mean, I'm a Cavaliers fan, so obviously Higgins isn't LeBron, but it's cool to see like LeBron, get drafted or his hometown team. Like it just feels like it means that much more, especially when you grow up a fan of the team.
Yep.
And now they're sitting in the back room again.
Go ahead.
This has to be so weird for the people at the event. Like, what is this guy just walking to a back room? Like,
we're also drafting Swedish, Finnish, Russian. Well, maybe Russians might go on the first, but they have to stand there in front of the world and start speaking. Like these guys are 18 years old. They might not be like super. I kind of want to hear if he's able to.
They gotta have like at least like I don't know if they broadcast it, but there's gotta be like a Swedish scout or something they could toss on there. I don't know if they'd have a translator, but
remember they were translating or they were having like issues getting contacting all those Russian players that they drafted in 2020. Who was it that they like tried calling and it just didn't work out?
It was like Novikov or someone, if I remember.
I don't know.
Or maybe Sardarian. It was one of those two.
It wasn't Kisakov, was it? No, I don't know.
That was like the funniest like group of Russians they drafted. Like I think there's still someone on Twitter that has Steven Sardarian and his dad, like that picture of them after that motorcycle ride. They like have that as their profile picture.
Wait, what?
Did you ever see that picture of like Sardarian and his dad? I think it was on like his Instagram. It was like right after he was drafted. I remember posting it to Twitter. like all
Oh,
4
maybe.
Russian pics with like the funniest pictures on their Instagram, and like
Yeah, I do
the
actually. I think I do remember that
yeah,
actually. Yeah, that does
the
sound
Russian
familiar.
guys, like they operate differently on Instagram. They post like some pretty funny stuff. Like I feel like the stuff they post is like something like the North American players would never post. Like they're like posing, like laying on top of a car, like just just random stuff like that.
That's funny.
Oh, they even have a seat for his dad. Making the
Maria.
guy.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of it's interesting how it's like a love seat, not a whatever. But good. Henrik, his dad, super Swedish name. Was probably like you sit next to your son for this.
No, yeah, you have to let your wife sit down there. That'd be a diabolical move to take that seat. Probably seated the divorce papers not long after that.
No,
That.
just throws a mic at him.
Yeah. Man, there's too much time on the clock here. This is crazy.
Let's make our moves, folks. You guys are
At least it's
killing me.
not like the NFL draft where the Bills are picking like 30th and
And then trading it.
Yeah, then oh yeah, that year was
Oh, that was
brutal.
brutal.
On a
Couldn't believe
weeknight
I stayed
too,
up to that.
I was like, oh damn, now I have to wake up for work tomorrow. Just stayed up
Yeah.
to watch
That's
the Bills
another
trade
thing. Like,
away that pick.
you got like the NBA draft on what, like a Wednesday? And I was just like, ugh. I feel like
Yeah.
that should probably be on like a Friday, Saturday, but here you go.
NBA draft's always interesting to me because, like, growing up, I watched a ton of college basketball and always be like, oh, yeah, the star college basketball player is going to go top 10. And then it turns out the guy's like 24 and like he does have a lot of potential. And he goes like late in the second round and I always be like, oh, this is a huge steal. And then, the guy just doesn't pan out in the NBA. And then, like, some guy you never heard of that's like an 18-year-old freshman that played 7 minutes, but is like a 7'3" wingspan, like turns into a star.
Yep. He's got big paws and,
Yeah.
he's super agile for his height or something. All right, Anton Frondell.
Still 20 seconds? Are you serious?
Pick is in. All right, so we'll see who they take and who Utah's really looking at, but Higgins is someone to keep an eye on.
Some Mammoth fan in attendance? That's pretty... I didn't know they existed. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that as a Sabres fan.
Did they give this any thought? That dude, there's a really good chance that guy just had hickeys on his neck that they put on.
Average Utah behavior.
Oh, God. I'm sorry for noticing that, but what was that? It was clear as day. What was that? Oh, my God. Did they whatsoever? No. Not really. Well,
Really,
probably
Tony
some.
Finau remotely announcing this pick? That's insane. What?
Oh, he's a Salt Lake City native. He's a Salt Lake City native. Fair enough.
Yeah, he can't even be there. Oh, I guess they probably have a tournament this weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably
Pick someone that can be there though.
I like Tony Finau. Let's go for Tony.
Oh yeah, he's a good golfer.
Yeah. It's a pretty sick thing behind him too. That looks pretty cool. Okay. I'm not hating. It was just.
I got no audio, so I'm clueless right now. I don't even know what he's like yelling something.
Oh boy. That's getting memed everywhere.
I'll wait till you react.
Another checkered suit.
My DraftKings account's looking real good right now.
All right. Okay.
I may have tossed a few dollars on that.
All right.
Yeah, that's a sharp looking guy. You could tell this guy's gonna be good. He's just got that look to him.
He looks like a hockey player.
Yeah.
Looks like a hockey player. Heck yeah. I'll be honest, everyone that they've chosen kind of looks like a hockey player, so makes sense that they play hockey.
No, yeah, it's
But it
funny
seems
too. They all look like the league they're from too. Like he looks like a QJHL guy, like
yeah,
from that looked like a Swedish guy.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah. I mean, it makes sense, hockey players looking like hockey.
It's cool to see guys from the QJHL go high because I know that league's been struggling overall in terms of
Yeah,
producing talent. So it's always cool to see, some Quebecois players go high in the draft, kind of build
noted,
that area of Canada back up.
noted. Oliver Nadeau.
Oh yeah, forgot about him.
Yeah,
Jacksonville Ice legend.
I'm pretty sure
Jacksonville
that's
Ice
how we
Club.
ended up finding out that Luke Adam plays in the E. So we were
Yeah.
going through that rabbit hole.
And they have like two former Sabres picks that never actually signed to ELC that were picked like 10 plus years ago that are on that team too. Just pretty funny. They got Ivan Shukarov and Chris Brown, Boston College legend.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice jersey.
It is a nice
It's going
jersey,
to be
man. Good for Utah.
It's gonna be
I like
difficult
Utah.
for me. Yeah, I mean, as soon as that Paterka Utah jersey is available for sale, that's gonna be tough not to purchase. That's
Like for me, like the trade with Paterka is like kind of like missing the production of the player, but it's not like I love Paterka and like it would so like there's a lot of other guys I like more than Paterka.
yeah,
Like
same
I
here.
was never a hater, but it's not like I was like his biggest fan. It was of the player. Seems like I didn't even know about some of the stuff that people were coming out with yesterday. Seems like the person is a little what are we doing? What are we doing on a late Friday night? You got a game tomorrow, dude. Like
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're young, you get a ton of money. You go to bars and you're the center of attention. It's addictive to some guys. I mean, some guys let it derail their career. Other guys can do all that stuff and be fine. Like I was thinking about Derek Roy, who was, known for being a Chippewa legend, and he was an incredible hockey player for the Sabres before injuries kind of derailed his career, but always like a grade A effort guy, I thought, in Buffalo, but also loved Chippewa.
Yeah.
These guys love Elmwood, though. It's a different vibe with this crew compared to the 05-06 Sabres. I mean, Chippewa was a different beast back then, too. Like, I was too young to remember, like, 2006 Chippewa, but I always say if I had a time machine, you gave me, like, 5 places I could go to. 2006 Chippewa would probably be in those 5.
Doesn't want to go see the Great Pyramids being built. Doesn't want to go
2006
see
Chippewa.
Library of Alexandria. 2006 Chippewa, baby. I mean,
Just hit the bars with like Rhett Warner.
Yeah. Just there's also some names that you're like, yeah, we see them out all the time too. It's like I don't want to hear about seeing them, like people seeing them out either, man. Especially one specific one that I was hearing.
I actually hugged Dylan Cousins Thanksgiving Eve, I think 3 years ago. It was after he had that crazy game against St. Louis. I saw him like upstairs. I don't even know what bar we were at. I had too many beers at Hofbrew House, but I like dapped him up and gave him a hug, and I was like, "Thank you for tonight, man. It was a great game." And he's like, "I appreciate it. Like, thanks for coming out."
I mean, I'm talking about some guy that apparently needs his butt kissed the entire time. Be like, no, you're a number one. You're a number one. There's no competition here for you. Don't you worry. We have all the faith in the world.
Yeah.
Then doesn't do that good. It's like, okay, cool. Let's see here. Let's see. I am not mad about losing JJ, nor am I mad at the players coming back. I just feel that I just don't feel like they got proper value for young productive forward. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like the players coming, but like that's the thing is if they got those guys, but just in a different way, I'd be like, oh, let's freaking go in it. obviously not in a even worse value kind of thing, but yeah, over the past couple of days, they have really grown on me, but you just wish there was a little bit more, or at least like we were talking earlier, maybe like a second round pick or something like that they could maybe package together and maybe get into the late first round if they have someone they really like, or even if they got a 2026 draft pick. I know people wouldn't have liked that for sure, but they did get 2 roster players back, and it's a loaded draft next year. So if they got that, that would have been cool. Like asking for a first round pick is usually not going to fly, but if they were able to maybe get like a second round pick, you gave a second round pick to Ottawa to take Dylan Cousins when you were taking back the more injured guy. That makes
Probably
more
the worst
money.
guy too.
Yeah. So, like, getting a second round pick in that JJ Peterka trade I don't personally think is out of the realm of possibilities. But I think that they were like, we really want Kessel Ring. And then once Terry heard, I think I said this to you with some other people last night on X. Like, once they're like, okay, well, we are trading JJ Peterka. Well, there's another guy that we can add to this deal. He's young. He's got some speed, tenacity, good defensive game. Oh, and did we mention it's Shane Doan's son? Stamp of approval. I really think that's how it went. Should we try to get anything else? No, just get those players. Let's go. That's where I'm at, really. Again, not mad at the players. They have my full support for sure. So, well, I know I went on a rant. Do you want to take that one over?
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because Josh Doan was in the USHL when I got really into the USHL. Like I watched a ton of, especially the Chicago Steel games that season. And I always thought he was an interesting player. I've always doubted him. He's always proved me wrong. But at some point, I think there's a ceiling to his game once he, fully established himself as an NHL player. So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, should have
this
gotten
Nashville pick here. This will set the momentum because I think so far it's been somewhat shock. This one, I don't really know what they're going to do here. So I guess we'll find out.
Yes, we will.
There's some like country music person. I'm trying to predict who it would be.
There's some really good chats. Everyone that's been in the chat tonight, you guys are crushing it. Appreciate you guys being here.
Who is this
guy?
Oh, Shea Weber. Thought this is another golfer or something. Where is he?
He is literally on a golf course.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Is this a PGA guy? I'm like, wait, that's Shea Weber.
No, is that like a baseball diamond in the background? Maybe he's got kids or something like that.
He's like, hey, can you film this real quick? I'm doing something for the NHL draft.
Kid hits a dinger in the background. That'd be sweet. I'd love it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Brady Martin.
We're on Sabres watch right now. We're on Sabres watch for Higgins and Martone.
Okay. Let's just because we appreciate everyone getting into the chat, let's keep showing do you guys ever think about how mean, hard to play against players lose their snarl the longer they're in Buffalo, Cousins, Sammy, etc.? Yeah, I mean, I think with Samuelson, it's just like there's a lot of things with Samuelson. I think one of them is to make sure that he's not getting hurt. Because the best ability is availability, and he has shown that that's not exactly an ability for him. So there's that. Cousins, I think that him getting clocked was just ruined him. Honestly, I think it just really ruined him. While I'm going, if you want to go ahead and show everyone, if you can hear me, if you want to show everyone the sweatshirt that you're rocking, just in case they aren't here or weren't here, the old Sam Lafferty, beautiful work. I'm not rocking one of those. But yeah, anyway, other guys that have kind of lost snarl. I mean, I think Jordan Greenway has actually gained some snarl. So there's that. There's a positive there.
Yeah.
I thought Greenway was pretty good last year before all the injuries, which again, that's another thing where it's just like, hey man, best ability is availability. So who knows what we see from him? Maybe he's a little less physical, but I think quite frankly, for him to be on this team, he has to keep that physicality, and you just have to take if he gets injured. That's another reason why I'm concerned when it comes to having so many bottom six players, but at the same time, a guy like Greenway, how many games can you really depend on from him? Or even Norris, how many games can you depend on him? So there's also that. Walt, any thoughts on?
Yeah, guys losing their ability to play. I think, it's interesting because I think I don't know what it is with Buffalo. Like, I do think Samuelson was always someone who I think even as a prospect, people thought he was kind of meaner than he actually was.
Yeah.
And Cousins, too. He showed flashes of just being an insanely aggressive player at the NHL level. And I think with him, like, sure, there were some instances where he didn't get it after the whistle scrum stuff, but I think just everything in his game was off this year and even the season before. So I don't know if that was just throwing off, just how he did after the whistle stuff, because it just seemed like he was so frustrated with like not being able to convert offensively that he, just kind of seemed almost depressed out there. Like, it definitely wasn't
He
an
just
easy
looked
season for him
lost.
the last 2 years. Yeah, he wasn't himself, because I just think back to that, what do they even call that game? The Heritage Classic against Toronto.
Yeah.
Play with all those guys just going like beast mode. Like
Yeah.
Vinny Hinostroza legacy game too. People don't talk about that at all
I
anymore
love
these
Vinny.
days. So.
We love Vinny around here. Like, yeah, don't really have a roster spot for it, but we love Vinny.
I really regret not going to that game. I was like, I remember like thinking about it. I'm like, do I want to drive to Hamilton right now and go to that game? Like, tickets are not too crazy.
Was it like bitterly cold that day or super windy or something? Was it?
Yeah, it was cold. I think it was like still somewhat during COVID, like tail end of it. I know you're able to like travel to Canada, but I think maybe you needed like a negative test or something. I don't even remember, but I was thinking about doing it. Danny Briere, man,
Let's
I love
see
that guy.
here. I ran into Cassian when he was in the AHL when the Amerks played in Grand Rapids. Okay, in Grand Rapids, and he saw me wearing an old Ryan Miller shirt. Nice dude, but he was at a bar as a 20-year-old. That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Guys like that, especially in like maybe like smaller places, they usually get that kind of treatment. So I can see Zach Cassian being a man of the people out at the bars, but pick is in for Philadelphia. It seems like the Islanders might not be trading up here. So who do we got making the selection?
Meek Mill, probably. Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. That's pretty funny. This draft format, on the other hand, I have snacks and beer, nothing to do tomorrow, so I can't really complain.
Is Charles Barkley a Philly guy?
He played in Philadelphia for sure. Yeah, I mean, I cleared my schedule tomorrow because I knew I was going to be up for, especially now, it feels like, and then listening to Kevin Adams, I'm going to be up until like 1 a.m. or some BS. So snacks and beer. I don't have beer with me, but I got a little snacky snack here, and we might have to take a little break at some point. But yeah,
Real draft starts
for hanging
tomorrow.
out, Ian. Yeah, right.
It's cool to see Barkley do more NHL stuff.
Any thoughts? Any thoughts, Walt?
I don't know. Is my brother commenting this for? I don't even know where he's at right now, but not a good contract.
what was the thing? It's 5 p.m. Do you know where your kids are or whatever it is? Oh man, someone's got to remind me of that. It's 11 p.m. Where are your kids this evening or something? Where is my brother? Appreciate you. Appreciate you watching. I know you're watching for me and not your brother, but yeah,
Martone watches off. Martone watches off.
Wow. Okay, Martone's off. Yeah, makes sense. That's a Philly guy. He's a Philly guy. Yeah, you'd say.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think if he plays more aggressive, maybe it's the number 94, but maybe Ryan Smith could be a type of guy he can become. I know it's in him to start driving to the net more.
Excuse me. But yeah, just our thoughts on the Quinn contract. It was just too much for him. Like me, I wasn't like I just kind of I knew it was going to be 2 years. I shouldn't say I knew, but like I really thought it was going to be 2 years, but I thought it was going to be like 2.5 million or like 2.75 or something like that. So they gave him a lot of money, and it was another example of them giving a little bit, maybe probably too much money to someone that didn't really earn it. And we've seen that too many times in the past, and we thought they've learned from that, but yeah, not great.
6'3", 208 is insane for an 18-year-old. That's a big guy. I was 18. I was like 6'3", 160, I think. Maybe 155.
I was never 6'3", and I've been thin all my life. I'm like extra thin right now just because of some like minor, but like some like health issues over like past like several months. But yeah, like I was never big anyway. So going up against someone like that is a hard no thank you from me. My God.
I'm
It's 18
220 right
months.
now, so I'm ready for that contract from the Sabres. I could be a fourth liner for him.
Well, yeah, we'll you'll mix it up after the whistle.
Yeah, I'd be willing to mix it up and to honor the crest. Yeah, he just looks good in a Flyers jersey too.
Oh, Mike, we're always going to discuss if you comment something interesting. Doesn't matter if we've already passed over it. We'll go back. We need. Oh, I'll be Ronaldo knee sliding. I think his is more the like run and then turn in like what's the thing? It's like Sue or something,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Ronaldo does the knee slide too. The knee slide always scares me though, because I've seen guys that their center of gravity's off, and they end up like
Yeah.
divoting the turf and they're just
Yeah.
going like flying.
Yeah, or they just face plant. You're like, you better hope that is a
Yeah,
well watered pitch.
yeah.
Since so I had a bunch of topics just we're going to be used as filler, but obviously chat's popping off. Appreciate y'all, but the draft is giving us plenty to talk about as well. But what do you? And this is just quick when it comes to football kits or jerseys. What do you think about collared kits? Because a team that I follow just came out with one, and they have collars on them for next season, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
I don't mind them if it's if it's tasteful. I feel like some collars can kind of look forced. But I
Yeah.
do like the vintage collars that are kind of like a different material than the rest of the jersey. Like kind of like those Arsenal shirts from a few years back. I feel like
Okay.
they had like the white collar on those. Like I kind of like the off-colored collar that's like a different, like thicker material. Like the throwback collars.
Okay.
I think it's easier to pull off as like a fan type fit too if it's like a collared jersey. Like some of them are like more stylish, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it really does depend for sure. Like, I don't want to say like all collars are bad, but yeah, there is
Yeah.
your like once in every 6 months us talking about football or soccer. He's a
Brentford's in
Brentford
the
fan.
dumps right now.
Yeah, didn't you
They
just lose your manager or something like that?
yeah, their manager just left. My favorite player left for Arsenal.
Who just left for
Uh,
Arsenal?
Christian Norgard, he's like a defensive center midfielder.
Oh boy, yeah,
Ryan
he's a good player,
Burmo's probably leaving for Manchester United.
dude. I don't want to hear about people leaving or like all of our best players leave. I'm a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan for some effing reason, and everyone leaves. It sucks. All of our good players.
Yeah.
And they're all going to Man City or Manchester United or wherever. It sucks and I hate it.
That's just the thing with the small club. Like you got to be able to sell guys and replace them. I'm confident Brentford could do it, but a lot more confident than the Sabres, to be honest. I feel like all
Yeah.
my other favorite sports teams, I always give them the benefit of the doubt. The Sabres, I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're doing most of the time.
Yeah. All right. Off the soccer topic. Let's see what else is going on here. Whoever started the crest meme I'm a huge fan of the crest meme. Are we talking like loyalty to the crest kind of
Oh
thing?
yeah, loyal to the crest. I think that was Kevin that started that, maybe, or maybe it was him.
I want to give proper shout out to whoever did that because there's some like funny creative people on Sabres Twitter, but I wouldn't be able to
Oh
tell you who it
yeah,
was.
such a
Yeah,
great fan base.
yeah, I'm happy to be a part of it, man. Like even some of the disagreements, it's just like I don't know, just seeing people's different viewpoints and stuff like that. It's cool. Sabres fan base is pretty cool. So there's another.
I mean,
Okay,
seeing,
so check off the Martone family going home happy. Walt saying that the parents won't get divorced because
no, yeah,
the player's mom
it'd be
gets to sit next to
crazy.
him.
Yeah, the dad sat down there.
Yeah. Oh man, that was funny. What else do we got going on here? I will say fully got on board the Eklund train. If Higgins isn't there, he's on the smaller side, but he's a pest and doesn't play small. Yeah, I mean, I think you could if you could try to frame it as a, this is very much like in the Benson area, people will still knock him for his size for sure.
Yeah. I
But
mean, can we
like
do a
that just kind
live
of
look into the after the whistle party at the casino if they do draft Eklund? Like, do we have boots on the ground there? I'd love to see like a react. Craig Revay might throw a table off the table off of the balcony or something there.
He's throwing it into the over the falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the older I get, the like I do like understand their viewpoints in certain situations, but like I also disagree with some of their takes. But yeah, Walt's been
Friends
on
of the
best player
show, though.
available. Friends of the show, that's good to hear. I mean, I'm fans. Like I said, even
Yeah.
it's like Sabres Twitter. Like even if I don't agree with you, could
This
still
pick
be
is huge
cool.
right here. Hashtag Hagen's
Boston.
watch. Dialed
I
in.
mean, but he's a
Boston College
BC
guy.
kid. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
They picked a
Makes
BC guy
sense.
last year, too. The first
Let me
round,
see.
Dean
Yep. Yeah,
Letterman.
Max brought that up. Yep. Hagen's staying in Boston would suck. You think of him? What did you think of him live? Oh yeah, that's right, because you did see him live in Boston. What did
Yeah.
you think of him live?
Some a bunch. I think you always kind of want a little bit more, but you could see the skill with him. I think
Okay.
someone like Celebrini, who I also got to watch live his draft year and was a lot younger than
Sandler.
Higgins in his draft year.
Sorry to
I
interrupt.
thought he was a lot more skilled than
That makes sense. That makes sense because he always wore
Higgins
the Bruins.
watches off.
Is it?
Higgins watches off.
Oh, he just came in. Oh, that sucks.
All right, trade the pick. Trade the pick.
Not for Brian Rust.
Yeah, not for
Trade
Brian
pick,
Rust.
not for Brian Rust.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh,
that sucks. Still good players though. There are still good players out there.
yeah. Oh.
Can you boys get on Blue Sky? We are on Blue Sky. I don't know if we actually tweeted out on.
Forgot to tweet out that we're live on Blue Sky. Or
we aren't able to go live on Blue Sky, I don't believe.
Yeah, not yet.
There is a way. I will look into that to see if we're able to. We aren't, to be honest, we're just not great with Blue Sky right now.
We're not good with any technology, really, as you can see today from
this was kind of a
YouTube
mess.
struggle.
Yes. So again, this is all just practice for when we live stream during Sabres games this season, so we can watch along and have a conversation with people like we are tonight. And really looking forward to that.
I do think Hagen's this season, I think, a year older, stay at Boston College, returning the World Juniors as well. I think he could dominate this year. Like, I think he could be a top 3 prospect outside of the NHL by the time the season is over. I think
This is Hagen's
crazy productive. Yeah. I just think he's just so good. And we saw how much he produced with the national team development program. He was always on the older end there. So I think, now that he'll be a little bit older playing NCAA hockey, I think it'll help him out a lot. He's just so skilled.
You feel bad for people on Long Island, but they also got Matthew Schaefer, so good for them. And
crazy we weren't able to trade up either. I do think there's like a sharp drop off in this draft, like around 11, 12 or so. So maybe teams are like 16, 17. What are we drafting? Like potential middle 6 forwards might as well just take a swing at a guy in that top 6. I mean, not saying Brady Martin could have a low ceiling, to be honest, but
here comes the awkward conversations.
BHL ?
Yeah, Victor, I was told at least that you lost a lot to Walt. This is just what I heard from people, and it was said.
We got all the championship banners. I think
that's so sweet, though. It's actually really cool. Like in all seriousness, that's really cool that you guys have that. So, especially the scoreboard, that's freaking sweet, man.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
We've had some legendary tournaments down here when we were younger. I think first one was 2008, so almost 20 years ago now, which is crazy to think about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mike, we'll definitely try to be better about posting to Blue Sky. It's I'm gonna blame Walt, but realistically I should be doing that. So yeah, we'll definitely try to be better about it.
I'm our social media intern.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do we got here? A lot of Hagens next. We're just player prospect fatigue. Yeah. And it's also I feel that way when it comes to like late risers. It's just like there's so many guys that are getting talked about all the time. Then people kind of latch onto who's the guy this year. His name's escaping me. Aiden is it Aiden? Oh my gosh, what's his name? Oh, this is gonna
Who are
bug
you
the crap
talking
out of me.
about?
I don't know. Oh my god. He's a defenseman, I believe. It wasn't someone that I was very in tune with. I was more in tune with guys that were in the top 10 because we've been discussing them.
Okay, Sean Aitchison.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that seemed to be a guy that was like rising late.
he's
Yes.
physical too. Like if people think Mirka is a physical defenseman, I don't really think he is. Kayshawn Aitchison, he's physical and he gets in fights too. Like he gets in a decent amount of fights and he scores goals. He's a fun defenseman. I guess he's a left-handed shot, but I don't know. Kesselring will make him a little bit more confident on what they have on the right side. I guess we'll find out. I do kind of hope Seattle goes Mirka here just to kind of save the Sabres from themselves because I do think O'Brien and McQueen here, I think, are two really fun forward prospect bets. Like I know people are kind of sick of prospects, but we need someone with top six potential in the pool right now. Like I think you probably have Kulik and Benson, who I safely project there. But after that, it's like, do I want to project Noah Oslin to a top six role? Probably not. Wahlberg, probably not. Hellenius, like he's a gritty guy, but he's not overly skilled. So I do think they need a little bit more firepower in that prospect pool. So I hope they kind of do that with this pick, especially at the center position.
So the Kraken have yet to draft a first-round defenseman in their brief history.
It's pretty wild.
Come on, Bottrell, do a solid for.
Yeah, and I think someone like McQueen too. I think you look at a guy like Tage Thompson, and they play pretty similar. And I think it would be cool to have like a Tage Thompson in waiting for the Sabres right now, like someone that Tage could kind of teach, like, how do you be 6'6", a 6'7" skilled forward and have that work at the NHL? I think Tage could be a great teacher to a guy like Roger McQueen once he eventually makes it to the NHL because he's a massive guy and he's really skilled too and a really smart player. I think the issue is he's just always hurt, but if he was healthy, I don't think he would have made it past 5.
Gotcha. Okay. Pick is in for Seattle. Let's see what we got here, folks. Need some more forehead videos from Kevin Weeks.
Yeah. Sabres trade 9th overall for Brian Rust. That's going to be next week's video.
That's not what I was talking about. That's not what I was talking about.
Can I turn on closed captioning on this?
Ooh, that's a good point.
I'm going to try to do it I'm watching it on YouTube TV on my phone.
After like the 4th price increase for YouTube TV, is this Jerry Bruckheimer? It is. Bruckheimer. National treasure, baby. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. Which, by the way, I love those movies. I'm such a sucker for National Treasure. It's the worst. Not the
Jake
movie.
O'Brien here.
Jake O'Brien. They're going to do it, aren't they?
I may have predicted it. I didn't have in my mock draft, but if anyone wants to take a look at who the prospect is that I have in the thumbnail for this live stream on YouTube, I may have predicted it. He plays junior hockey in Washington State for those wondering.
Let's see what else here. Will we get either McQueen or it sounds like they will. I think the high end is there. Yeah, particularly. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard like glowing things of Murtka as well. Go to the
Yeah,
poor
he's
captioner
just
has to spell it. I mean, at least I pronounced it right, so shout out to me.
surprised you pronounced Jake O'Brien right.
All right. Okay.
Jake O'Brien. I'm probably gonna butcher some of these names that I didn't practice enough. I didn't even try to pronounce the guy's name who Utah picked. I know him as a prospect. I hear his name pronounced all the time watching film with him. I just can't replicate like the French pronunciation.
Dude, I'm barely able to get Kesselring out.
Yeah,
It's like
that's an
Kesselring.
underrated. That one's tough. It's an
not
underrated,
easy.
tough name to pronounce. Yeah,
It's not easy.
man, I forget that the Bulldogs play in Brantford now. Are they going back to Hamilton at some point, or is that just like a temporary thing?
That's really weird. Because weren't they a different team before Brampton too? They went like Hamilton to.
Oh yeah, they went Hamilton. Did they go to? Oh no, Brampton is. Oh no, were they Brampton and then Hamilton? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Oh no, I think it was
Hamilton
always
Bulldogs.
yeah, because they were
I remember
AHL team
playing
and
their
then they
junior team.
OHL. Yeah. Oh, there he is.
I just
Jason
found out that
Bottrell.
Kesselring has a generational schnoz like a Morna. I mean, so do I. So I don't want them to take Mertka. I think we agree over here.
Yeah, Mirka to me would be like an offensive lineman pick. Like this is like
not exciting.
one that's just it's just not a sexy pick if they go Mirka here.
Yeah, who do you? Ian just said he wants to see Eklund. What? Who else? Eklund. Like, who do you want them to take? Like, this is the guy.
My preference right now would probably be McQueen. Like, there could be a scenario where looking back at this video, I'm like, why did this guy say that? I just think the potential there is pretty good with him. So I do like him. But yeah, Eklund too is another guy where, like I said, if they pick Eklund, I love a live stream of the After the Whistle party at the Seneca Niagara Casino, because that'd be pretty funny to see their reaction. But I don't think he's not your typical sub 6 foot forward. He does play really aggressive and he's pretty physical. He's got good skill too. I think it's just, there's so much weight placed in that 1 inch of height. Like the difference between 5'11" and 6 foot in the NHL scouting world is huge, when in reality doesn't make that big of a difference.
I'm just so. Oh yeah, Kevin Weeks just put out a tweet. Oh man, I don't have it set up to share a screen, but I can't share a screen right now, but I would keep an eye on Kevin Weeks's Twitter page.
What did he tweet out?
Just an eyes emoji.
Right set up. Oh, an
just
eyes emoji.
Just an eyes emoji. I think that's Utah doing it during the Sabres pick is interesting.
Oh, I don't need an eyes emoji from Kevin Weeks during this Sabres pick. That's gonna give me a heart attack.
What was the one where he posted like Chippewa and then like nothing? Was
that
the Cousins thing?
No, it was like whatever happened was like the someone claimed it was like the Sabres changed like it was something like really minor. I'm like, I don't think that was it. I think he had inside info on something and it just never happened.
What was it? That's gonna bug me. Maybe some of the chats.
I don't think anything happened after. Like you can't. I don't think he's able to claim a Cousins trade if it happened like weeks later.
It's just 3 months later. It's like that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
it's an effective.
Do that about every team.
Yeah. That'd be great. I would enjoy that.
And I just tweet out like a picture of like the Penguins arena with eyes emoji, and then when they make a trade, like 2 months later, and be like, "Yeah, that's what I was talking about."
Someone just asked best OHL jersey, or I wonder what they're referring to. This was a tweet at us.
Probably about Bulldogs.
Probably, yeah.
They're up there. I do love the black and gold.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love the
it's pretty good.
Steelheads too. I just
I
love the
kind of like.
Steelheads logo.
Yeah, that's a good one. I kind of like the Saginaw Spirit as well.
That's a good one too.
What? I swear I'm missing one. What's the one that I can't stand? Or I shouldn't say can't stand. Excuse me. The Battalion, I think, North Bay or whatever. It's just like
Oh
ugh,
yeah,
colors. You're just like, oh
that military green.
yeah. But like, I'm cool with military green, but it's got to be like better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
I love like the Golden Knights throwbacks too when they had like that kind of like superhero type logo and they had like the purple and teal. Those were some fun jerseys.
I do kind of like. I kind of like the London Knights one as well. Sudbury's okay.
Damn, they really
Yeah.
set up that Sabres war room at the Bills facility.
Oh yeah.
They're probably gonna
What
go
was
in
it?
there sage after
Oh,
and just burn that thing out.
hit some cold tubs or something like that.
That like them doing this might curse the Bills this year. I would get them out of that facility ASAP.
The Flint. I was just looking at the Flint Firebirds logo. It's not great. All right. Well, Walt's gonna hear it before me. People in the chat probably gonna have it before me too. So I'm gonna not. I
I'll
can't
try not
hear
to
or
react.
see it.
I'll
No.
cover my face.
Okay. Sabres pick is in. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, they're in person too. Love to see that.
Goo Goo Dolls coming on out. Love the Goo Goo Dolls. Big fan. All right. Drafted Redeem Mertka. What do you think, Walt?
Well, if you notice, he is a thumbnail to this live stream, so I kind of predicted it. I was hoping that Higgins or Martone would fall to them. I was also hoping if they didn't, they'd take a swing on a forward like McQueen. But Merca, he does have potential. He's extremely young for this draft class. Like I believe he like just turned 18. Obviously you see his size too, 6'6", 218. I think he's still a really moldable player. Just right now, I don't really think he excels in like any one area. So it's like tough to say is like if he's like a physical defenseman, if he's an offensive guy, because I don't really think many parts of his game are fully developed yet. Didn't have a great U18s. Like you see some clips here, he did have a few great moments, but overall, I didn't think he was as dominant as you'd hope, a high first round pick to be. But still a lot of runway left, and the Sabres did have a need for a young defenseman that's developing the system because, sure, they have Novikov, Komarov, those guys. I don't think I'd place money on any of those guys playing more than 100 NHL games. So it was a need. Like, this is like an offensive lineman pick. This is like picking a guard ninth
Yeah, it's like you
overall.
need
Like, you
it.
kind of have to do it, but it's not fun when it happens.
Yeah, it's not the exciting pick that people were probably looking for, but like you said, it's organizational.
Damn, he's a unit.
Yeah, he
he's
is
a tall guy.
Yeah, he is a big dude. And when it comes to these kinds of prospects, I don't even want to hear or see or think about you for at least 2 years, and that gives him plenty
Yeah,
of runway.
he's gonna be a huge wait and see guy. Like I said, extremely young, and he's a defenseman. I wouldn't project him next to Dahlin or Power anytime soon. It's probably gonna be 4 years or so before we see this guy in the NHL. He's gonna need. I mean, now with the college thing, who knows? But he's probably gonna need another WHL season if he goes the college route, a year or two there, and then maybe sometime in the AHL and then a Saver. Like it's definitely not a pick for now.
Yeah, I think he might have maybe a little bit of a higher upside to some of the other guys they have. Like, oh yeah, Max just mentioned it here in the chat, like Kleber or Sturbach.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think
But
he's much safer than those guys because I think Kleber and Strawback. I just don't know if there's enough there to safely project them to an NHL role. Like both of them play, games that are somewhat projectable, but not Like there's elements there with those guys. With Mirka, I think he's an NHL defenseman. I think the question is just how good of an NHL defenseman.
All right.
And as you see it too, like for those watching the draft right now, like 43 games, 3 goals, 32 assists, like that's not bad for a guy in his WHL rookie season that kind of made the jump over from Czechia. That's pretty decent production for the guy. So I guess we'll see, how his point production continues, because he's not really a primary point producer that often. He gets a lot of secondary stuff. So I guess we'll see. He'll be fun to watch next year. Like fun to kind of watch develop. But yes, I think, who knows what 2026 looks like. With how the Sabres offseason has gone so far, I'd imagine they'll be picking high and they could pick a forward then. Not to be the guy that brings it up now, but
yeah, we'll see.
I'm not too confident with their direction this offseason so far.
Now that the Sabres have made their pick, we're going to be getting into the 2026 NHL mock draft. Walt teed up. No, we're not doing that.
Kevin McKenna, first overall to the Sabres.
There you have it. So there it is. Radim Mrtka, drafted by the Buffalo Sabres, number 9.
You got to go fun forward tomorrow with your second round pick. I'd be so upset if they don't. We need a fun forward pick in one of these drafts. Enough of these role players in the middle rounds.
Yes, sir. They just start taking shots.
Yeah, their second round drafting has honestly been so depressing as someone who kind of lives for the second round.
Let's see here. I'm going to start working on pulling up some stuff for us to possibly respond to. Excuse me. Jeez.
I can maybe add a Mrtka chart to here too that we can go over.
Yeah, let's see what we can gather for the folks, so you guys have a little bit more of a basis of understanding when it comes to this. When it comes to this draft pick, Radim Mrtka. I got a pretty good one here for us already. Let me get this pulled up. This is from our good friends over at the Charging Buffalo. Player to watch at pick number 9. Jerry Fortin is gushing over 6'6" right-handed defenseman Radim Mrtka. Very unique package. Is able to move the way he does at 6'6". I think you probably saw that in some of the highlights that were being shown on ESPN. He's almost more agile with the puck, if that's possible, which I actually do understand what he's saying there, which does seem weird, but it is something that I've either seen or felt playing hockey before. Like I've seen it where you're like, how are you more agile with the puck? It's almost kind of like Dahlin in a way. Like he's super agile without the puck, but even with the puck, he's just incredible. Not comparing him to Dahlin, but just that thought process. Not comparing him to Dahlin. Just
like they're making these big defensemen different these days. Like a lot of them can handle the puck too. It's not really like the old days where you'd have guys like Mrtka go 9th overall and they'd barely be able to skate, and they'd have like 2 points in like 72 WHL games. Like this is a guy that has some elements to his game other than just being 6'6".
Let's see what else we got up here. So Jesse Polak from Bar Down. I'm not going to pull this one up, but Radim Mrtka, 6'6". Michael Kesselring. Oh my God, I almost called him Kesselring. Kesselring, 6'5". Owen Power, 6'6". Matthias Samuelsson, 6'4". Buffalo is building a gigantic blue line. I swear to who, if Samuelsson is still on that blue line when Mrtka comes by, I'm out.
I mean, that's kind of the funny thing too, is I also, maybe this pick will change things, but I can't do a full offseason of the Sabres only acquire small players. Like that hasn't been the case for like the past 2 seasons now. Like they have a ton of big guys. Like not every 6'5" guy is going to be playing like Dan Carcillo out there. like these guys are still good hockey players, even though they're not hitting someone every second. And there is such thing as like, being over aggressive. Like I don't know if these people watch Rasmus Ristolainen play in a Sabres uniform for as long as he did, but that's a perfect example of being overly aggressive, going for hits when you should be sticking in front of the net. Like I know some people have concerns of battling net front, but I think the larger concern is the puck shouldn't get to that area of the ice as much as it does right now, and that comes down to the forwards, especially the wingers stepping up and making plays defensively. So I think we just need to see more of that as a team, and then a lot of the supposed problems with these bigger defensemen will magically disappear once they're faced with less volume.
Here's another. That is not it. Here it is. This is the Seattle Thunderbirds general manager saying he's unbelievable. 6'6", 215, moves very well, passes the puck well, shoots it well. Defense
there
better
goes
than
Roger McQueen.
Roger McQueen, okay. Roger McQueen goes to Anaheim. Yep. Oh boy, another big old boy. This one's 6'5", 200 pounds. Back to Mertka here. I'll be surprised if he doesn't climb into the top 10. A lot of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, but there's a specific type that the Sabres are going after, is a big defenseman that can skate well. Saw with Kesselring, see it here with Mertka. Not, and this is, again, like I said a little bit earlier, I don't want to see this guy for at least 2 years. Go develop, do your thing. If you have to rely, unless he just rips an NHL job away from someone, which is just, sorry, it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to put those expectations on him. Like, I'm so tired of having to rely on these younger players.
No, I mean, we've seen how tough it was for Dahlin and Owen Power to adjust to the NHL. Like, Dahlin had some awful seasons in his early 20s, and those were elite defense prospects, like some of the best defense prospects ever, especially in Dahlin's case. So a guy like Mertka, especially a 6'6" guy who struggled to stick in the pro league in Czechia at 17, like he's going to take a bit. And I do think, it's worth the wait. It's kind of like being prepared. That's the best way I think about being this. I like this pick, like kind of justifying it. Like a few years down the line, you're going to be like, all right, we need another defenseman to fill in. Oh, perfect. We have like a really good one in the minors right now. He could step in. Like that's kind of how I view this pick. Because, I mean, there's been so many times throughout recent Sabres history where it's like, oh, we need a young forward or defenseman who's ready to step in. And then it's like, oh, wait, we don't have any. Like the pool's empty. Like we don't have that guy who could fill in. So, I think this is a huge need-based pick, but also I think it's not crazy. I think he's the best player available as well. Like there are guys who love Mertka. So it's not too crazy to think, yeah, this wasn't need-based. It was their BPA.
The Sabres showed that they were super passionate about this player too. So, yeah, I mean, it's the way it goes. And, these are 18-year-olds we're drafting. This isn't the NFL draft. These guys aren't showing up tomorrow. So let's try to get into some of these chats here. I know they might be stacking up. We will be so ready to compete in 2030 Copium. I don't know if you're talking about us, but I mean, I think I actually just answered that.
No,
they're 18 years old. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where
I'd rather have them make that pick than the Russ trade. I will say that. I'm just glad they didn't do that Russ trade that involved Hellenius.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know actually how true that thing was, but yes, absolutely. So, and yeah, when it comes to organizational depth, they do have those big other defensemen that were brought up by, I believe, Max. Yep. But I think when it comes to overall ceiling, that's probably what you're. Oh, they have Lightning McQueen sweatshirts. That's sweet. Sorry, I saw some guys moving off to the side. That was cool. It says Kachow on them. I don't know, whatever. I thought it was cool. But yeah, it's just a very much like a highest upside defenseman that they can bring into their organization, it seems. What else here? The future is bright. Yeah, I mean, heard that before. But look, I mean, no matter what no matter what you think of the Sabres right now, which I'm going to assume it's probably pretty negative because that's really all they've given you.
Yeah.
It's still, you still have to draft well. Like the future's like we can make fun of, the future's bright and yeah, we got this guy that, we don't need or, just like another big defenseman or what. But like it just no matter what, especially for the Sabres. Like the Rangers, if they miss on some draft picks, fine. They can just attract people because they live in New York City or, Florida can do the same thing. But the Buffalo Sabres, you got to draft well. You got to draft well. And they really like this guy. So I'll give them that. Draft a fun personality tomorrow. I'd love to draft a nice, fun personality tomorrow. What do you got here?
Yeah, so this is like track data, like 8 games of track data from Mitch Brown. If you're into prospects, highly recommend subscribing to his Patreon. That's where I pulled this from. And as you can see, like the top 2 sections there, like shooting and passing. Like I mentioned earlier, he's not like a crazy like individual offense guy. Like I know he had good point totals, but a lot of it comes from secondary offense. Like he's not really like a shoot first defenseman. Transition, I mean, you see a little blue there. He's decent in transition. Entry prevention, very blue. And then you see like the space creation down below. So he's like a big, he's not like a final level of offense defenseman. He's a guy that'll do that transition stuff, kill plays, get all that work done, and then help out the forwards, which, that's a useful defenseman. And I think with his frame, with him being a rookie in the WHL this year, I do think there's a decent amount of potential for him being an effective NHLer. I think this is a much safer NHL projection pick than, say, the like Isak Rosén pick the year that was made or the Noah Ostlund pick. I think this is a guy who's going to be an NHLer. He may have a hard ceiling on him, but I do think his ceiling is still like a really good complementary piece to one of, hopefully they're still here, but one of Dahlin and Power down the line.
There's already I don't want to pull it up. Oh, it's so good though. Oh God, this is just a funny react. Oh no, I'm gonna do it, guys. I'll pull it up. Give me a second. I gotta find it. Let me get this. Get this for the people. This isn't fair. I'm not being fair right now, guys. I want to make that very clear. Let me get this loaded up into here. They're already starting. That's not fair. Is it like, did they draft for organizational need? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a coincidence, but
I don't think they reached, though. I don't think they reached.
Yeah, it's not a crazy reach, though.
Well, especially to them. Like, it might be a reach for me or John down the street or something like that, but for the Sabres, it's probably not a reach for them. And that's probably what you're going to hear from Kevin Adams later.
Yeah, because if Seattle went Mirko right before them, like we were talking about it live, like that wouldn't have been a crazy pick. Let's see what the Penguins do here. Watch them have like Aaron Rodgers or someone dumb announce this pick.
Somehow makes it all about himself.
Yeah.
I remember when I was drafted, I was so much better than everyone that was drafted, and I didn't go until late. And it's just like, shut up.
I went to Cal Berkeley. Ever heard of it? Elite academic institution.
Here's something from Byron. From Byron Bader, just a kind of outlook for Murtka, just comparing him to Dougie Hamilton.
He's a good NHLE guy. He's got the points. Oh, I won't spoil who it was, but off the board.
Thank you for not having a complicated last name. Oh, someone's crying. Who is that?
That's got to be. He definitely wasn't expecting that because it's not like they get the phone calls in the seats.
Well, remember Moritz Seider going like, what? That was wild.
And Seneca last year, too. He was like, what's going on? This is a good prospect. Like, I maybe wouldn't have taken him this high, Well, looking at the board right here, it's not a crazy pick because I feel like end of the first round of here, there's really not a crazy difference between these guys. And he's kind of like a projected late, like 20s type pick.
Heard that, yeah, a lot of those players are in the like 10 to like 20-ish, like late teens to like mid 20s, or can kind of go anywhere. I'll try to get back to a little bit of these chats. What do you mean they got Paterka in the second? I think we were talking about getting like fun players in the second. Yeah, I mean,
That was so long ago though. At this point, I guess I'm talking more about recently.
Yeah, it was also like one guy. Like, yeah, they hit on it. That was great, and it was like essentially like a glorified late first round pick. You're not wrong, but
yeah, I'm just thinking
more
like
of that plays. Yeah,
last 3 drafts like Lenonen, all right, and then they go. I think Strawback, once again, all right, and then they go last year Adam Kleber, and it's like, can we just have some fun with these picks? Like, I know some of the fun picks didn't work out with like Kisakov and whatnot. But I think you could get guys that are like in between, that Kisakov. I think Kisakov is kind of like an unreasonable talent bet, but I think there's more reasonable talent bets you can make. Not naming names, but possibly Cole Hudson last year. He may be one of the most fun hockey players I've ever watched. And I watched a lot of his brother at BU too. And I think Cole at BU is every bit as good as his brother was. So that one still hurts me. That one will make me emotional. I might start crying right now.
I can't wait to read a bunch of positive stuff and become delusionally optimistic about Mertka in the coming days. Yeah, I mean, it's just a solid pick, for sure. Bro, I'm crying at the Mertka picture. Absolutely. Yeah, catch me 48 hours being like, the more I think about it, the more I'm warming up to the Mertka pick. I mean, that's me with the Paterka trade. I mean, that started pretty quickly after my initial reaction, and I put that in a video when I was like half asleep. Was just like not great, but yeah, I mean, it grows on you. This one's it's fine. It's fine. It's a good pick, good player.
Yeah,
Don't expect them anytime soon, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not super fun. It's fine. It's a good pick. It's good. Like having a 6'6" defenseman that can skate pretty well. Like I was saying with Kesselring, especially when we were talking about some of his stats, and he isn't necessarily great when it comes to, I believe it's like rush defense. If I'm going to bank on a guy maybe figuring that out, I'm going to go with the really, really tall player that has a long reach and can skate really well. Like maybe he doesn't figure that out, but like I'm gonna bank on that more than someone else.
I would like to see. I know I'll get hate for this, but I would like to see a kind of a smaller defenseman that is great at retrievals kind of enter the Sabres system, because I think you can only do so much with a bunch of 6'6" trees. Because I think there's a lot of limitations to being taller in the NHL. And we saw with Tage too when he first joined the league. Like he struggled a lot. Your stick gets tied up a ton. Like I know it's different for a defenseman, but trying to battle the corners and get underneath a guy like Zach Benson, for example. Like a guy like Zach Benson will just skate right underneath you, chip the puck out, and create an opportunity for his team.
And he'll get low and have leverage on you. Sorry, he'll get low and have leverage on you, and especially for like defensemen, it takes a while, but big defensemen and just being able to get that grown man strength for how long their limbs are, like absolutely.
Yeah, so you kind of need a mix back there. I mean, you can always sign a guy too. So, trade alert.
Okay, trade alert. I don't have this. Oh god. It's gonna be so much easier when okay, so they from the Flyers, that's hilarious.
It's an intrastate trade. I feel like is that subject to that's not subject to additional taxes. It's staying in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, they could be doing something fun here. Danny Briere is so aggressive.
He's a stud.
Yeah, I do kind of wish, he was in Buffalo right now as their GM, but
I would take I would take any of the former Sabres except Bottrell.
I wouldn't take Drury. He scares me. But I'd probably take him over Adams.
Yeah, but he's a crazy person. So like
that part's
that,
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Let's get back to this. Random thought. What do you guys think? You guys think Hughlin will ever make it? I
No,
wish,
yeah,
man,
I don't
because
think so.
he was
Yeah.
such a fun prospect with so much skill, but that back injury, man, just derailed him. I really hope he has a good pro career, whether it's here or overseas.
No, yeah, it's with the
Sabres? I don't
Penguins
think
and the
so.
AHL, so I guess we'll see.
Oh,
I mean,
is
he
he?
might
Did
be a
he
guy
finally
that,
move on?
yeah, he
I
might
don't
be a
remember
guy
that.
that ends up in the, yeah, at the end of the season, he signed with Wilkes-Barre's Scranton Penguins. So,
At the end of this season.
yeah,
Man, I missed that. That sucks. Huh. Usually it's like mid-August, which it won't be this year. But usually mid-August where I'll just kind of like go through and just like start going deep diving onto elite prospects. Next thing you know, I'm in like the second division of the Bulgarian hockey league looking at prospects or players or
no,
whatever. So
yeah.
probably would have
Huglen's a
noticed that later
Fargo
on.
Force legend too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I even did like a deep dive article about him back when he was on Fargo. He was just such a fun player to watch. Like crazy stick handling, crazy skill. That back injury definitely hurt his development a lot. He missed, almost 2 full seasons with that, if I
Sucks, man.
recall
That's
correctly. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm hoping he's able to carve out a pro career. Like we saw a guy, Max Willman, the
Yeah.
guy who the Sabres didn't keep, and he kind of grinded his way through the ECHL, AHL, and is playing NHL minutes. So
Who
it's
did
always
someone
possible for these guys.
Someone commented about like Max Woman's like girlfriend or whatever. Oh wait, yeah, we should have signed him.
Oh
His
yeah,
girlfriend is
so
a smoke influencer, and he's genuinely a good guy in the locker room. I I can agree, or I can see like Max Woman being a good dude. I don't know anything about his girlfriend or whatever, but that's pretty funny.
yeah,
Um,
that's pretty funny.
Zach asked, we've gone over this a whole bunch, but might as well talk about it again. It's a big topic. What are you guys' overall thoughts on the Paterka trade? Walt, I'll let you take this one because I've mentioned it a few times.
Yeah, like I brought up earlier, it's like you're craving Olive Garden, but you have $100 Red Lobster gift card, so you swap out that $100 Red Lobster gift card for $75 Olive Garden gift card. Like, sure, you get your needs, maybe not the best value, and my type of thinking with the Sabres too is I don't think they're in any position to kind of make a needs based trade, at least in terms of giving up talent for needs, because I just don't think their talent level is high enough right now. So I think if you take away from that talent, I think you're left with a kind of a roster full of role players that just might not be enough.
Yeah, I'm on the like, how do you replace? And again, still plenty of off season to go, but as of right now, like, how do you replace that production? And to think, oh yeah, someone will step up and do it. It's just like, all right, good luck. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. Like, good luck. Oh, Brandon Graham, okay, got an eagle out there. But yeah, I wouldn't bank on I wouldn't bank on like Jack Quinn or something like that.
Hey, how
But
do they have Brandon Graham ready for this? Did they have
probably
they
just
just
told
have
him
him
like
on
just be ready.
standby?
Yeah. What
Oh,
do we got?
I I don't know about that.
Jack Nesbitt.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I think maybe we're just
He's in
seeing the
an Eagle
Panthers
jersey there.
effect.
There you go.
I think we're just seeing the Panthers effect. I think a lot of teams are trying to draft guys that they think are playoff guys, so they're willing to take lower ceiling guys.
I meant
But
to ask you about that before the draft started. Do you think the Florida effect would be
yeah,
something? So hand up
I
accountability
mean,
on that one.
yeah, it has been so far. Brady Martin going to Nashville, Jack Nesbitt going here. He's still got room to grow too. 6'5", 186. Decent point totals last year for Windsor. But yeah, I think the question with him is just his ceiling. But he's someone where, NHL teams loved him. And so I don't think it's a little shocking to see him go this high, but if someone told me Nesbitt was going to go 12, I probably would have believed it just because, I think that Panthers effect I think we'll feel it in this draft. This kind of reminds me of like the LA Kings when they were going on their run with all those cups, how a lot of teams just try getting heavier, just
Yeah.
bigger, heavier players. Like Tim Murray even tried doing that with the Sabres. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it does feel like at that time it was like only the LA Kings will have success doing that because of their special formula, or like the only
Yeah.
Florida
Well,
will
because
be
of their
able to do
coach.
that because their coach is a character for sure, and
Yeah.
I mean, but they traded up. They do this, so they obviously believe in this guy. So I guess good for them. Good for them. It's a big
Another
boy.
unit. Yeah, there's
Another unit. Oh my god.
the average height in the NHL is gonna be like 6'4" in like 5 years. All right, they got to get rid of this like walking in the back room stuff. This is corny.
Do you know what it feels like? I know this is very specific, but it feels like when you go into Best Buy and you go into that little back room for the home theaters.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is a nice 42-inch.
Just put this back up here for the gang. For the gang, I'm sorry. It's not
No,
fair.
yeah,
It's not fair. I understand, but it's just so funny. It's not fair.
that's
But
that's my reaction every time I watch these guys walk into that back room with that TV screen. I'm like, do we really need to watch this right now? Like, show some highlights or something instead.
I mean, I called it early on. This is kind of weird, but yeah.
I can't even hear the audio right now. I'm kind of glad I don't, because I'm like, I can't even imagine what they're saying.
I mean, like, I'm really not hearing much besides, what I'm hearing from you, so it's fine.
Like, this should be done in private. I feel like your first talk.
Yeah, your first conversation with like, I don't know, yeah, because it would always happen on the stage with them. It's a 1-year thing, fair enough. But good Lord, well, you're going to be, you're probably knowing you'll probably be there next year, so we're going to be doing this live stream from over there.
Oh yeah, we'll try to do. And if you make it out to the draft too, we could do an in-person one. Depending on the location, we could do one poolside in Vegas. Hopefully, it goes back.
Oh no! Oh, there's another one. Yeah. Oh, there's another picture.
Oh, really? That's not good.
Oh, this one's worse. Oh man. Hold on. I'm trying, guys. You gotta give me a second. You gotta give me a second. I'm sorry for the laugh. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting this. The first thing to pull up when I looked at Twitter. Oh God. Oh, it's bad, guys. Let's get it pulled up here.
I'm afraid to see it.
He just, again, you're getting him in a glimpse of maybe he's waiting for the press conference to start, and it's just like an awkward situation.
Yeah.
But again, and I know we're piling on. We don't mind the pick, but it's just the narrative around the Sabres. It's just like, oh man.
Well, I mean, by the time he makes his Sabres debut in 2032, they could be good by then. So who knows?
Oh, brother, I mean, that's true. Absolutely true. Again, this is something that we were basically saying. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm so flustered. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, the Sabres, I don't really think have been just their image around the league. I think with Reinhart winning the cup again, like Rodriguez winning the cup again, obviously Eichel and ROR before, like, it's kind of almost comical at this point. So I think if you're part of the Sabres organization, like you're probably thinking like, I'm a good hockey player. Send me somewhere good. Let me win a cup.
So wants to be here with a little trademark at the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was from Chris Ostrander. Ostrander. I think I nailed it. Good follow on Sabres Twitter as well. Which, oh my God, I actually don't follow him. We're changing that right now. Oopsie. Shout out to him. He's probably not watching, but shout out to you. Sorry for not following.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reason we're doing these live streams this year too, because I feel like it would be fun to document kind of like how we descend into madness. Just following this hockey team.
Welcome to the home opener, guys. We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in the last game of the season. Holy crap, we made it. Oh, I don't know how. Limb from
home opener. I'll be there in person just to boo Adams. Like, I'll fly in just to boo Adams at that day.
Again, we got to wait for the rest of the offseason. Got to see what's happening, but
I'm already setting my judgment. I don't think it was traded. It was traded like, I don't know, just the fact that stuff came out Friedman about the Byram offers right now being underwhelming. And you know what? That's kind of expected with the moves the Sabres have made. Like, I'd be sending them underwhelming offers too. Like, they just traded JJ Peterka for Doan and Kesselring, 2 role guys. So and they traded Cousins for Norris, who Norris was a contract they were kind of trying to get rid of. But
they sent a 2nd round pick with Cousins. I just don't get it. I mean, yeah, well, it's for JPD. I'm like,
they got like 47 JBD type defensemen in the system right now.
Yeah.
Especially now that they have like Merca. Like, how many guys like that do you need, I guess?
This is actually a good comment here. Sorry, that made it seem like there weren't good comments, but this is a good comment. If they're walking and broke down their own highlights, that would be better use of this stupid room. Agreed. I agree with that.
They get like a John Gruden type. They just go back there with like Don Cherry or something. Somewhere you thinking on this forecheck.
All right, you look right here, and he's just calling people by just the wrong name entirely.
Just a Russian guy goes back there and he like cross checks him. All right, we don't need this full house long introduction. I don't even know what they're saying. So if they're saying something important, I apologize.
Out. Yeah, what are we doing here? The Oscar goes to.
Ooh, interesting pick. I like that one. Detroit's got some dogs on their team.
Fiercest competitor.
Nice, yeah, he's an aggressive hockey player, kind of a beast. I like that pick for Detroit. I mean, they kind of always seem to target guys like that with Casper, Moritz Seider.
Yeah, that's true. Got a type. Certainly have a type.
Oh, yeah, speaking of great CHL jerseys, I love all the Everett Silvertips uniforms. Those are some of my favorite jerseys.
It feels like the Western Hockey League has better jerseys overall.
Yeah, Silvertips, I just love like their color scheme and like the mountains and stuff on the bottom of the jersey.
Silvertips is good. The Winnipeg Ice was like, I don't know, Kootenay was like a good one when they had them and stuff like that.
Seattle Thunderbirds too, Merca's team. They got some classic uniforms.
That's true. Yeah. I'm trying to think of others.
I love the Winterhawks New Jerseys too. Those are really nice.
Winterhawks is a good one. Regina Pets is pretty good too. Don't mind that. The Oil Kings. I've always liked the Oil Kings. Yeah. The WHL is better. Of all 3 of the CHL leagues, absolutely has the best uniforms and logos.
Calgary Hitmen with like the pink alternates.
Yeah, true.
I like the draft hats this year. A lot better than last year.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Just solid. Yeah, I like them.
Because I wanted to buy a draft hat last year when I went to the draft in Vegas, and they were so bad that I'm like, I'm not even going to buy one. Like, I wanted something to commemorate going there, and they were like so bad. I'm like, I'm not even touching these.
You took some confetti that fell on you during the weird, awkward, whatever.
Yeah. Took an extra chicken tender from the media.
You wrapped it in a towel like Kyle Brandt did with his chicken wing when he was making the pick for the Bills.
Yeah.
He's like, this thing is cold. And we're like, all right, whatever.
They have some good tenders there. A variety of dipping sauces too.
All right.
Had a nice meal there. And we sat next to if you remember, there was like a guy from one of the newspapers in Nashville. When the draft was in, I think it was in Nashville, he was interviewing the Chicago Blackhawks GM on the street, like asking him stuff about the draft, not realizing it was a Blackhawks GM. It was like a huge viral video back then. Yeah. So yeah, we sat right next to that guy. It's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. Excuse my eating. Kind of whipped together like a makeshift dinner tonight, and it is it's not sticking. Eiserman can't hear you.
Oh wow, they already have like the arch nameplate on the Red Wings jersey.
Interesting,
That's
yeah.
not easy to do. Oh, it looks like it's not like the full. It looks like there's tilted the numbers though. I don't know if it's the full like cut way they usually do it.
Looks like Velcro. Excuse me for
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
boy,
Travis Konechny. That's probably a good comparison for Carter
families,
Berry's aggressive
families,
like that.
feeling it. Happy tears. People are reacting
Victor
to recent
Eklund's
events.
still on the board.
Yeah, and Jackson Smith.
14.
That was someone
Yeah,
that
and Jackson Smith.
I did see some people kind of. Oh, that would have shot. Yeah, I saw some people saying Jackson Smith could maybe sneak in. And they were talking more maybe around like number 10 or something like that. I don't think I saw anyone talking about him going to the Sabres, but yeah, Victor Eklund was definitely one I think people thought were going probably by the Sabres pick. I was curious to see if you wanted Eklund, but doesn't matter now.
I would have taken him. I guess I wasn't like crazy about him. I know there's a lot of, draft people in the public sphere who are huge on him. So, sometimes I default to those guys' opinions, and I know they're really high on him. And I'm already looking forward to the second round. I know I probably have some type of disease for me to be into a Sabres second round pick this far into a historic playoff drought, but I'm already excited for that pick.
Talking about John Gibson trade. He's been traded since 2018, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. They really got it. Like, were they not thinking this through? Like, why do they need an extra seat for the other parent? They put
have
a
one back there.
two-person. They could invest in a three-person love seat. Was that outside the budget this year?
Oh, poor guy doesn't know what to say right now. He's struggling.
That 100th anniversary patch on the Red Wings jersey is sharp. That's a nice logo on the shoulder. Man, it's cool to see like all the emotions and stuff because hockey's a sport where it takes a lot of dedication to get to this level, just in terms of the travel for just everything from practices to games to tournaments.
Triple A travel. Even when it sucks, man. Like you have to make a commitment. And yeah, I remember when I sat down, I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it was like the best decision of my life where like games were no more than like 2 hours away versus AAA. We were going all over. It sucked, man. It was not worth it.
Like some of these places in Western Canada too. Like you drive 4 hours from Buffalo, you're in like Pittsburgh or something. You drive 4 hours in like Manitoba, you're in the next town over.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot out there. Oh, is this Johnny Gaudreau's wife? This is cool to see.
Oh wow. It is. Yeah, it's great to see her. God, yeah, I mean, every so often I'll just kind of sit and it just kind of hits you. And
I remember when the night it happened, I was like, I can't believe this is real. Like I've never had an athlete have that happen to them. That was that big of a deal in their sport. Like just
the only time I just sat there, just kind of like staring at a wall or whatever, was during the DeMar Hamlin thing.
Oh yeah, that too. That was
but like that unbelievably tragic. I'm gonna actually listen to what she's saying here. Wow, she's handling it very well. Jackson Smith.
That's a nice
Man,
pick in that range.
she handled that incredibly well. So yeah, I mean, heart
Yeah.
goes out to the Gaudreau family as always, but I mean, I don't want to just bypass that. Heart goes out to the Gaudreau family, and I'm just glad that everyone gave her that great standing ovation and everything like that. But yeah, it's tough. It is good to see though. Another big boy getting drafted.
Yeah, 6'4".
6'4", 200. I mean, I think we're officially getting to the Florida effect here.
Oh, Penn State guy too. I didn't think about that. Like, you brought up Jackson Smith. You didn't think about him the Sabres. Like, that could have been a Pagula connection if they did go with him at the Sabres pick, because it wouldn't have been a reach at Smith wouldn't have been a reach at 8 either, or 9, or even 8. Yeah, this is a guy who I think you could argue he's the second best defenseman in the class if you're a fan of his game. Like, I think Kayshawn Aitchison, Jackson Smith, Merca are all similar-ish tiers. And you can even probably toss Cameron Reed in there as well.
We have an update on Mertka's.
Oh, wow. That's a crazy vest setup right there.
We have an update on Mertka.
Yeah, no, he's got to be happy, because to go that high for it. Yeah,
it's again we were playing it up obviously because it was just people. He was probably just sitting there and it was really awkward and stuff like that, where you're just kind of sitting there waiting for things to start and you just didn't know what to do, stuff like that. Totally get it, but yeah, no, really glad that this is captured as well and it's making its rounds. Shout out to Matt Bove, big fan of Bove, and yeah, it's good to see him happy, and I'm excited to see him. I unfortunately probably won't be able to make it to development camp, but it'd be good to see him in a Sabres uniform.
I'll be there this year.
Nice. All right.
I'll still be in town for it, so hoping to go to a few practices. Wow, this is like why is one guy's like intimidating? He's just like hands in pocket, just staring him down.
Oh, what are you in the baby blue shorts?
This looks intimidating. This looks like he made a bad deal with the mob and he's facing the music. This is crazy.
He's going on for his like Skype like arraignment or something like that. It's like,
the guy in the middle looks like a mob boss.
Yeah. Look, we don't want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you.
We told you to get under 2.5 shots on goal this game. You got 3, so we'll have to deal with it.
Yeah. You fell down
the easy way or the hard way.
I shouldn't have tripped. Yeah, exactly. There are going to be a lot of talent in the Big Ten this year. Excited to catch some Gophers games. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. College hockey as a whole is going to be different levels. It's going to be fun to watch. A lot of prospects like consolidated in one space. And as a guy living in Boston, I can't complain either, because
I was going to say
Michigan visiting, we got Michigan State coming, and there's all those teams in New England, so it'll be.
Who's coming to Canisius?
Yeah, Canisius needs a. I think they're getting Gavin McKenna. I think Canisius can pull it off. I think he's going to Canisius or Niagara.
Can you imagine? That'd be crazy. That'd be sweet.
Gavin McKenna playing Atlantic hockey.
I think he does
it. Yeah, he would look great in Purple Eagles sweater. I mean, I think they had a guy that was an NHL draft pick on their team last year. I think he transferred out. I forget where, but it's possible now with the new college hockey to get a guy's kind of overlooked that's interested in playing college hockey. You could get him to commit to a school like Canisius or Niagara. Like they got a few decent CHL commitments.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, appreciate everyone.
I think scouting too is huge in college hockey now. Like if you have like an incredible scout on like Niagara, Canisius, and you could kind of find these CHL guys that are overlooked.
God, what a unit. My, what are they feeding these kids, man?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
God.
Like these are all like legitimately good hockey players too. Like they're not just big.
Yeah.
Like they could skate and everything.
Yeah.
So it's.
I mean, some of the highlights you're seeing in
better
America,
skaters.
some of the things you're seeing in America, we're going to try to do like a more in-depth thing. Probably, I don't know, tomorrow. Walt and I will figure it out. But just rest assured that, rest assured that we will, come out with something and get some video clips. Well, from what I've seen so far, the kid could fly, man. Murtka can really haul, especially if you give him a little space to get going. And look, I mean, they already kind of have some pucks transporters from the back end with Darlene and Power, but again, this is a guy that I don't even want to see for at least 2 years. So who knows what happens then? And I don't know. I think it's a good pick. Not a great pick, not an amazing pick, not a bad pick, not a terrible pick. It's a good pick. All right, who's on the clock right now?
Vancouver sweater right there.
Oh, baby, it sure is.
Yeah, that was like,
I'm
I
like
wish
five,
they'd do like
5
a
seconds behind you.
throwback of that. Because I'm not a huge fan of the black jersey with the skate logo. Like I think it's all right, but I'm not crazy over it.
I kind of go back and forth on it too. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, it looks cool, and other times I'm like, eh.
I think to me the coolest jersey, and I know it's an awful jersey, but when they had like the maroon and navy, and they had that like gradient jersey that like faded from navy to maroon. Like,
oh, dude, I was actually thinking of that. Yeah, when you mentioned Vancouver, I liked those. Yeah, I think it's something different. I mean, it's not for everyone for sure, but I like it. I'm also someone that like desperately wants to bring back the red Sabres third jerseys from like the early 2000s or whatever. Like that is my jam. And some people are like, those things stink, and I'm like, well, I don't like you.
Yeah,
I'll see you by the flagpole.
Yeah, because the reverse retro, it lacked like that pop, like that red color had that pop to it. The reverse retro, when you make that like same logo white jersey, it just didn't have the same vibe to it.
Oh, it's a Samuelson.
Is your screen like glitching out, or is that on my end? I think it's on my end.
I think it's on your end.
My laptop may be passing away in the next.
No, don't leave me solo here.
Yeah.
I don't think the people can handle it.
Oh, this is a good pick, I think. Another just forechecking guy from the WHL, aggressive.
Braden Coates, looks like.
Braden Coates, I believe.
Coates. Okay. Matty Beniers style player. Okay.
Yeah, I think Coates. I mean, we'll see a lot of him for those that watch Merca next season. I don't believe he's committed anywhere for college, so I think he should be back there.
All right.
But yeah, he's a fun player. I think. I think you love guys that play this way, like play aggressive with higher IQ, because they're just so projectable. I think we kind of saw it. Like he's not, same level as like a guy like Benson, but I think we saw just how projectable Benson's game was with just working hard and knowing where to be. Like that's just a really valuable trait to have.
I mean, you're always going to have a slot on an NHL roster for a guy like that. If you're smart and you work hard, Yeah, I mean, like, if you're egregious when it comes to skating or puck handling or, smart usually goes together with, like, quick thinking, stuff like that, but, you're not, like, a step behind or
Yeah.
anything like that, like, makes sense.
Even a guy like Benson too, like he's small and he's not like an incredible skater, and he's
No, he's not a great skater. Yeah.
still able to be effective at as a 18, 19-year-old in the NHL, which is pretty remarkable. I think the last thing with Benson will just be the offense.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, though. The same thing was kind of said about Sam Reinhart too, and it's more about how they move around the ice. Because if you're smarter,
Yeah.
you're already in a better position than a skater that's faster than you, but is out of position, kind of thing. So there's something to consider there as well. All right, go do your weird interview. Yeah, brother.
Yeah, they got like this should stop after like pick 8. Like we don't need this at pick
Yeah, man.
15. Watch them do this tomorrow for like the 5th round. They're just gonna be like, all right, take a break. We have to send the guy back there.
Yeah, it's some kid that didn't know he was getting drafted, like Laxinen or something like that, and he's off like by
Yeah.
the pool or something like that. Hey, by the way, you just got traded. You got to hop on Skype with him. What?
Yeah.
Islanders got 2 picks right here, though. Interesting that they
Forgot
didn't do
about
anything
that.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't forgot they didn't move those.
What did you think of the Dobson like trade and contract that he signs? I think it's a decent contract. Like, it might not be
Yeah, it's not a
great
bad
right
contract.
now, but like a couple years from now, 3 years from now, people, especially if he doesn't like fall off a cliff or anything like that, he, like, should say fall off a cliff, but maintains or continues to grow. Like, it's good. It's a good
Yeah, and the
contract.
cap's going up too, and it's
Yeah, man.
guaranteed to go up.
Yeah.
So, number one right-handed defenseman. Like, I feel like I'm crazy for thinking that's actually like really good value. Like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's bad value or too much at all. Like, you're gonna see a guy like Byron maybe get 6-7 million. I'd rather pay that extra 2-3 million and get a much better defenseman and Noah Dobson. Like, not talking about like from the Sabres perspective, but from any other team, like if I had to choose between the two, like I feel like giving up 2 mid first, which probably won't mount to really anything too crazy. And and from the Islanders perspective too, like there's still some interesting players on the board. And they might not get the exact value back for Dobson, but I think they will get a nice kickstart to their prospect pool because they had a guy like Schaefer here. They had a Kalen Ritchie last season, in season, another good forward prospect. And then they got these 2 picks here with some good players still left on the board. Like the Islanders were a team who really struggle with prospect depth. So this will be a nice kind of kickstart to that prospect pool for them.
You think Victor Eklund is one of those picks? It seems like he might be the one that's falling here.
Yeah.
What's
I
your
mean, they got, because with the new GM now, like this isn't Lou Lamoriello making these picks. So I think they're going to be a little bit more fun with it. Like if Lou Lamoriello is making these picks, they'd be drafting like a 6'9" defenseman from like St. Andrews that has like 3 points in 36 games with this pick. But now that they have a fun GM, I think they go Eklund with one of these picks.
All right. Well, they're on commercial break, so we'll see.
It does seem like I was just thinking about this with the Penguins going off the board at Kindle. It does seem like when teams have like back-to-back picks or back-to-back-to-back picks like the Bruins in 2015, it does seem like they go more kind of wild with it, kind of off the board. I don't know if it's because they're confident that they could kind of do one safe one off the board one, but Pittsburgh traded that pick, so I guess it didn't apply to them this year. But we saw the Bruins with their 3 straight picks; they kind of went off the board. So it's going to be interesting to see what a team like the Islanders does with their new GM with these back-to-back picks.
Yeah, absolutely. Apologies for any yawning. I said this earlier, but I got all hopped up on caffeine earlier for work. I was getting my behind kicked, and it's wearing off, man. Gonna be limping to the finish line here. This is taking a while. It's already
Yeah, I mean,
9:20.
unless people are begging us to stand, we definitely don't have to do a full 32 picks because it does get
I
a
kind
little bit.
of I mean, I do want to kind of hang out a little bit, see if chat was blowing up earlier. Obviously, calm down a little bit now that the Sabres made their pick. I'm sure people are off enjoying their Friday night, but I do kind of want to be able to listen to Kevin Adams, and
I
maybe
never
he
listen
would.
to him because it makes me depressed.
Yeah, I'm not overly excited about it by any means, but I think it's at least good to hear what he has to say.
He never really has to say much of anything, which is why I try not to listen to his stuff.
Yeah, so what do you see in Radim Murtka? I mean, we are not buying out Sammy, okay?
Yeah,
How many times do I
I
have to
feel
say it?
bad for the fans.
But we're not talking about that. Again, he's integral to our team. We're not buying him out.
Yeah.
Okay, no one asked about that, but you should consider that. Or at least
Yeah, it's like I feel for the fans. They thought they were getting Jordan Kyrou, but
I wasn't that.
they were kind of afraid they'd get Jordan Kyrou, but it all worked out in the end. We got Josh Doan and Michael Kesselring, so the fans don't have to be afraid.
I know there was a rumor about Kyrou and Byram. Don't get your hopes up. Unfortunately, that was more of a just thinking out loud moment from Friedman there. So if it does happen, that'd be sweet. And I'll eat crow on that all day long. But it's not. Don't.
We need Megan Shako to be the future Sabres GM. I know I started that campaign a while back. I think in like 2019, but she's from St. Catharines. Huge Bills fan, I believe. She's not a Sabres fan, but the stuff they do with stat leaks is really
Megan,
cool.
get in here. Get in here, Shaka. Your brother didn't do it right, so let's give you a chance.
Yeah, I mean, if her brother got a GM chance, I think she's just as deserving as well. Like the stuff they did with that stat lease company, like I said, two, brother sister from St. Catharines, close to Buffalo. They've done some cool stuff. So maybe somewhere down the road, it'd be someone they consider just bringing on board. I guess we'll see.
Certainly will. I mean, how have they still not made this pick, man? It's been in for like half a. That's not true. Just being impatient.
I actually met John Butchergross last draft. He's a really nice guy.
That's good. That's good. We'd like to hear those things.
Yeah, and he did say too. I think he said, well, I mean, we didn't really have a podcast for him to come on, but he did tell me and Jared like he'd be willing to come on one of our shows when he's like in Buffalo for a Sabres game. So maybe John Butchergross Sabermetrics collab.
Yeah, I mean, again, like there's definitely people I want to talk to, but I don't know if I have the stones or not to reach out to them and ask. So that could be someone for sure. And also I don't really want to speak for any TCB stuff that could be coming up. Definitely keep an eye on it for sure. But yeah, there could be some TCB stuff that might suit that a little bit better. So still working through that. Definitely need to talk to our man Jared.
Yeah, no, the TCB stuff's definitely interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, a lot of things to work out, but oh no way, they brought out E from Entourage.
Yeah, because like this technically isn't like a Charging Buffalo podcast, but me and Bill are both a part of the Charging Buffalo. So like technically it is in some ways, but it's not in some ways. So yeah, it's kind of like it's all semantics, I guess. Oh, there we go. Islanders are back.
Islanders are back, baby.
I have way too many Islanders jerseys too. I think I have
two
somehow, which I feel
I've
like
never
is
been
a
huge fan of the Islanders jerseys.
I have one of the fish sticks jerseys with the fisherman on it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I got one of those, like a Kasperitis, which I guess is like
Kasperitis.
Yeah, I guess it's not great for a Sabres fan to wear because he scored like an overtime winner against them before I was born, but I still like having it. And then I think I have a Josh Hosang, like when they had that black Brooklyn alternate. I got a Josh Hosang 66 jersey.
That's crazy. That didn't work out too well
Yeah.
for him now, did it?
Oh, yeah. I used to love Hosang. I was like, this guy's a steal in the second round. It should have been a top 10 pick.
Man, there are a lot of question marks about him. So it's kind of
Yeah.
wild.
I was also like 15 back then. So I was like, I kind of just bought into the hype.
That's fine. I'll judge the 15-year-old Walt. That's cool with me. I'm kidding. I mean, I get it. Like, he was an exciting player, but there were just so many, like, even before he was drafted, just like off the ice issues that you're like, I don't know.
I mean, when I was 16, I was a huge Sam Reinhart guy. Back on HF boards, I was
too.
going hard for Reinhart over Bennett. I mean, Bennett ended up winning the Conn Smythe, so I guess both guys have done stuff in their career. But I think Reinhart, I think he's a future Hall of Famer in my opinion. So I think he's one of the best players in the NHL right now. Honestly, he's incredible.
They should. This is crappy. They should have to make both picks.
No name on the back.
Is there? Interesting. Matters.
Maybe they didn't think he. They definitely didn't think he'd fall that far. Maybe that's
probably
why.
not.
Like, there's a chance he could fall this far, but I thought he'd go like 12, 13. I guess I didn't really expect him to be there at 16.
Yeah. Kind of wanted the Sabres to take him so they could try to get his brother.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, it's going to be fun having the Islanders not be like a boring team again, because I've always been a fan of the Islanders. Like, I think their fans could get annoying, but they're diehard. Like, I went to college with so many Islanders fans, and they're into the team. Like, they're dialed in.
Who would you rather deal with, though? Rangers fans or Islanders fans?
Probably Islanders, because Islanders to me are like the Mets compared to the Yankees. When you're thinking like Islanders versus Rangers, like I'd rather have the, kind of like grungier, like fan base that has suffered a little bit more. Like, I know they both haven't won a cup in a while. I know the Islanders won a bunch in the 80s, but for a lot of their younger fans, they haven't seen much success.
It's true.
That's a crazy war room in their locker room.
Yeah, this is the one that I was talking about with the with like all the jerseys that they have that are just NHL Draft and then 25.
Yeah, it seems like a waste of jerseys unless they're like giving those away to fans.
They have to be like signing them and giving them away or something like that. Yeah. Who would wear that?
I almost bought that guy's exact hat like the other day.
That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig that one. That's pretty cool.
I spent way too much money with the Blues rebrand with that like STL Music Note logo they came out with. I bought like a hat with that on there.
What, recently?
I'll break it out for one of the streams.
No.
Yeah.
Did they rebrand this year?
Like,
it was
like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it was them in Boston. Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. That dad looks Swedish. That guy looks like
they all look very Swedish.
Yeah, his mom too.
Scandinavian ancestors.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Scandinavian ancestors. I got the pale genes though. They didn't seem to get that.
Yeah. I'm 0% Scandinavian. Maybe that's why
0%.
The NHL. Yeah.
Got some in me for sure. Sabres win the draft. They drafted a fine player. It's good. Big old defenseman. Big old defenseman from Czechia, right? Oh my God.
Yep. From Czechia. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be fun. Like we got Kulik.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin Czechia. And they have who Prospel as an AHL coach. So when he does make the move, like I don't know what his eligibility rules are since he went to the WHL halfway through the season. I don't know. Surprised no one's asked to see in the comments, but if he could go to Rochester, like when? I guess. I mean, they're probably talking about that on Twitter X right now, so I guess we'll.
Yeah, it'll at least be brought up in the next, you'd think, 24 to 48 hours, I'd assume, if people aren't already on that.
Because they do have Prospel down there as a coach, so could be
And I mean, if
easier
you're
to
gonna,
transition.
yeah, I was gonna say, and if you're also gonna put someone as a rookie into the AHL, or you want to do it with someone that's massive instead of someone like the size of like Kisakov or something, you know?
Yeah. I do kind of want to see him get another year at a lower level, though. Like, I do think another WHL season could be good for him.
Yeah. Wouldn't
Especially
hurt
for a
him, that's for sure.
defenseman. He's so young, too. Like, he just turned 18. Like, he'll be 18 all of next season.
Twitter just lost it.
Wow, I like that for the Islanders. That's a nice pick in that range. That's the start of a nice prospect pool.
Peterson, yeah, I mean, you said he's a tough customer. Yeah, good for him, man. That's awesome.
Man, the Islanders are going to be so different.
I was going to say, those are some couple of good picks for them. Yeah, good for them. Well, I mean, and they also have the number 1, too. Let's go. Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I support our Isles brothers and sisters, even though they did beat us that brutal game 22-23 with the fashion kick-in. But other than that, any people that support the Islanders, I think there's actually – last time Islanders were in a playoff run, there was like a Islanders backers bar in Western New York. I forget where it was, but they were hosting like Islanders watch parties during the playoffs. So I was like thinking about going to one just for fun, just to feel something.
Just to feel something.
Yeah, like I want to know what it feels like watching a playoff game with the team's fans. Like I haven't felt this since I was 12 was the last time.
Oh, he just wrecked someone.
He's got a crazy shot too. He scored like a crazy amount of goals. I don't know the exact total, but it was a lot.
I have family on the island, so I've warmed up to them. Honestly, like I warmed up to the Rangers a little bit too because I have a buddy that's a Rangers fan. But I think if I had to choose, I'm probably going to go Islanders. Even though, they definitely Hudson Fashion definitely kicked in that. Kicked in that puck.
That's like after every Rangers and Islanders game in Buffalo, after Sabres win, I always tweet out it's going to be a long drive back to UB North. Because that's if you ever go to a Sabres game when the Rangers or Islanders are playing, it's all UB students.
I went to I didn't go to UB, but I went to a school with a lot of people from Long Island as well. I have a whole bunch of friends from down there. So,
well, there's probably Bonnie students too that go to those games as well. Like, there's just a lot of Western New York college students from that area that just all go to those Rangers Islanders games in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, sure did. Islanders are killing it. Agreed. And I think it's a good draft for them. Good for them.
I know that. I mean, replacing Dobson with that, like, that's actually
pretty good.
Now that I think about it, yeah, those are 2 decent bets to make.
Yeah. Good for them. Good for them.
Oh, they're joining the room together.
Oh yeah, they're bringing E.
Wow, the Islanders have no nameplates for them. They made like 47 of those NHL Draft 25 jerseys. They couldn't even get a nameplate ready for it.
I think, what do we want to call it? Maybe at number 20? Number 20? That should be about 3 hours. Okay. I mean, appreciate everyone that came in.
Yeah, this thing's taking a little. I thought we'd be wrapping up after 3 hours. I didn't think they'd be doing this weird video thing off to the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, real draft starts tomorrow. Real draft starts second round.
Well, it's going to be solo live streaming it from round 2, the start of round 2 to the end of round 7. So
I'll be commuting. So I'll have to do it via passenger seat of a car.
No, we will not be doing that, but definitely gonna have recaps and stuff like that. I was gonna try to like do stuff that we can get clips out of this live stream. I'm not going back through the 3 hours to go find stuff to clip out. Frankly, not gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll be doing recap videos probably like Sunday or something that will have come out about both Merca and all the Sabres draft picks. So yeah,
sure.
yeah, for those looking for our thoughts on the picks, just a breakdown of stuff. Yeah, we'll have that ready for you guys on Sunday. And yeah, thanks to everyone too who's been kind of watching our YouTube content, because we're both completely new to adding stuff to YouTube. So it's nice to see, like, that subscriber count go up, like those views go up on every video. And it's awesome to see like the likes and stuff as well, the people that just like, kind of appreciate what we've been doing. Cause yeah, we definitely try to produce like the best content possible for you guys. And, it's awesome to see people like interact with us on here during the live streams and in comments on our posts. Like, it's greatly appreciated from both of us.
Definitely. And we're still new at this too. So obviously hoping to continue to improve and, take any, constructive feedback on, what people want to see, or some things maybe they don't
Yeah.
necessarily like. And I mean, I can speak for myself. Walt knows this more than anyone, but I was not super comfortable doing this and stuff like that, but I've actually had a really good time. And it goes, shout out to Walt and everyone that's been commenting, because you guys have made it fun, and a lot more willing to actually flip on the camera and talk some Sabres. So I'm glad we're able to do this, especially because it was just so strict with, if we're talking Sabres, it's going to be, like an hour-long podcast. And now we can hop on, talk for 15 minutes about something and release it. And it's a little bit more digestible for people as well. So
yeah,
that's what we're looking at. I think just in general, when it comes to our content, things might slow up. We might do some like my thought processes, and you're actually kind of hearing us plan as we go here. But thought process is in July to do stuff that's a little bit more not time sensitive, and a
yeah,
little bit more just like random content, because I think, I don't know about your moving situation. You're moving soon. I'm moving as well at the end of July and all of August. So I'm going to be really busy there. So we'll keep doing what we're doing now, but in August, the dead period too, we'll have some more just fun, random stuff. Might do like a jersey ranking, or you know, I don't even know, mock lineups. Maybe Walt will spend 5 minutes practicing his booze for opening night. I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know. So again,
Yeah,
I
maybe even
really,
I was just saying with the schedule coming out too, like maybe we could do
schedule
like an
coming up.
away days type thing, kind of mix in like a Kraken game with the Thunderbirds game. Like, I guess we'll see what the schedule looks like, but lots
Yeah,
of
I definitely.
possibilities for different types of content.
Yeah, I might have to request that. What is going on here? Roger McQueen's going to the roof or something like that. That's kind of wild, but yeah,
Oh, are they flying him back to Anaheim?
oh, that's nuts. Or are they just taking him on
Oh, it says en route to Disneyland.
in Disneyland? Okay,
I guess that's in Anaheim.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, we might do like a more local away days, just because once you buy a house, you have no money. So that's
It'll be
kind of
paid
an issue
for
on
by
my
our
end.
10,000 sponsors
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all of our sponsors. All right, pick us in for
next
Calgary,
season.
which Calgary, oh man, just a fantastic jersey. If we're gonna do like jersey rankings, they're gonna be in my top
Oh
5.
yeah, I love their
Fantastic.
alternate too.
Oh, they're all good, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wow, Lanny McDonald.
Oh,
I mean,
there
that's
he
who
is.
you think
Check out
of
the
when you
stash.
think of that Flames jersey.
Yeah, mine's again low.
Oh
But
yeah,
he is a very close second, obviously. But that mustache is just
yeah, I know.
chef's kiss, baby.
You haven't seen that guy's upper lip since like 1960 something.
Yeah, man.
Calgary kind of needs everything. I don't.
Yeah.
They're one team where I know I shouldn't speak as a Sabres fan, but I'm just a little confused with what direction they're going. Oh,
Ooh.
I like that pick for Calgary. I mean, they kind of need those talent bets, and this is a guy who scored a ton to end the season in the WHL. So, yeah, I think they could definitely use a point scorer on offense, and
Yeah.
it's a nice pick for them in this range.
Yeah, they definitely need that kind of talented forward. Cole Reshny from Victoria of the WHL. Is he another? Looks like he's another big boy. Oh no, he's 5'11". No, I mean,
No, yeah, he's small. That's kind of why he fell, because he's smaller and isn't the best skater, but
okay.
puts up a ton of points. So there's hope that, just that IQ, that ability to score will translate.
Number 3 pick in the Bantam draft back in, what was that, 2022?
Yeah, he was a hyped up, youth prospect in the WHL. Victoria Royals is a team I feel like I think about the least of any CHL team. Like, you don't really think about the Victoria Royals too much. They've been around for a while at this point.
It's like them, the Battalion. I never think of them. Flint,
Oh
I
yeah.
barely think of.
Trying to think what other
Anyone
teams
in the
never.
QMJHL, I don't think
Yeah,
of.
there's so many of those teams that have just never had a top prospect like the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, thinking about the QMJHL, the Lewiston Maniacs, that might be my favorite junior hockey jersey ever. I used to love their logo.
Oh, that thing's wild.
I think Jonathan Bernier played on the Lewiston Maniacs.
Went away in 2011. NHL alumni, Bernier, yep. Eric Jelena. Oh, Yaroslav Halak played there. David Perron played there, and a bunch of other guys. I don't really know.
Yeah, they had I love their. It was just like a goofy logo with a guy missing a tooth, if I remember.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
It's a little weird.
Yeah, because I remember there used to be, I don't know what they still make. There used to be hockey cards called like Heroes and Prospects that would be of like just CHL and AHL guys. And I remember
Okay.
like way back in like 2005 where it's like I think like Crosby and stuff was in there, and they had like Ovechkin, and I think Thomas Vanek. They had like Vanek Rochester cards in there. So I used to get those cards all the time when I'd go to Dave and Adams on I think it was the one near like Sheridan back in the day. So anytime I got a Lewiston Maniacs card, I'm like, I'm saving this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this was a great turnout too. Like our first live stream, I think we had 350 views or whatnot, 1,400 views tonight. So appreciate everyone for turning out and watching our stream for a little bit.
I will say in the future we will be doing more just solo YouTube streams as well, just for people that are subscribed and stuff like that. We will have a wide majority of them stream to X as well, but we will be doing stuff that is strictly on YouTube as well, just for the people that are subscribed there and following along and commenting on there.
Yeah, really please subscribe too. We're looking to raise that subscriber count. So if you're enjoying our content, please be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things where we're trying to build that a little bit more. So if we do try to reach out to someone fun to talk to, we can actually say like, hey, we have a subscriber base, and something like that for analytics wise is not just for us. It's for, the content that we would be bringing. Because I mean, if we reached out now, it's, we're still new at this, and we appreciate all the subscribers, but it's also,
No, yeah, because someone would see our channel now and be like, "Are these guys gonna ask me creepy questions like that?" That Walt guy kind of looks a little goofy. He might be like,
I don't think I trust that Bill guy.
Security number.
I don't think I trust that Bill guy. Quite frankly, I don't.
Bill guy's probably stealing my IP address.
Yeah, man. Actually, How did you know? Okay, so we will listen to the 20th pick for Columbus. It's 19 right now.
Yeah.
St. Louis is still on the clock. Figure it out, guys. Let's go.
I got that over 8.5 defenseman in the first round bet. I'm still waiting on. So other than that, I'm up $9.
I can't believe you actually bet on the NHL draft. That's wild.
I do every year. I bet way too much on it sometimes. I think when I was in Vegas, I lost $40 on it. I guess that's the luck of Vegas.
Naturally. Live look into the St. Louis Blues, and it looks like someone's on the phone to trade Kyrou to the Sabres. No.
I'm excited to see these jerseys in person during the draft. I don't mind them. I didn't think their jerseys before were bad, though. I like the double blue, but I like the light blue, too, so I don't really know what to think.
Yeah. I mean, they have Jordan Binnington, so I don't care. But
yeah. Yeah, like that jersey that guy's wearing, like that's a solid jersey. Like I never minded those jerseys.
All right, here's Harrington. Sabres just a pinata in the league right now. So many people jumping on the still of Mertka in LA. Has anyone thought that the kid was simply waiting for people to start asking questions? But no, let's run with it and falsely say he's unhappy. Classic social media. I mean, not wrong. But like we assumed that he was just sitting there just like waiting for stuff to start. So like it was all good fun. Like
half those posts are like all like shit posting too. Like we're guys talking about Buffalo Sabres right now on a Friday night. It's warm outside. I'm sitting in a basement right now talking about a team that's in like a 15-year playoff drought. So we're gonna have a little fun if we're still here.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Selection is.
Who is this?
Who is it? It's Nikki Glazer. I don't know. That's what the caption said. I think I've seen her before.
I feel like I've heard of that name, but I don't know who it is. Oh, it's a comedian. Yeah, I feel like I've heard of her. I'm not a huge stand-up comedian guy though.
I've definitely seen her before. I think she might be in like roasts and stuff like that. I don't really freaking care, but like I think she's in like roasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, those alternate logos that are on those note cards, those are nice.
Are we actually doing stand-up right now?
Oh, really? I can't even hear it. I'm just like, please make the pick.
She was like, I was also the 19th pick for my prom date or something like that in high school or what the
Oh, I forgot he's still available. That's a nice pick, though, especially in that range. I feel like there's a few nice value picks in the teens.
Justin Carbonneau. There he goes. Good for him. QMJ player.
This guy's fun. Like he's a tank and he's skilled. You know, sometimes
he
needs to like rein things in a little bit. Yeah, but this is a fun bet in this range. And you know, St. Louis loves going to the Q too for some winger prospects. So they got Zachary Bolduc on their team right now.
He looks big. Just getting up and
he's
walking.
Just a unit. Like 6'1", 205 at 18. Like that's crazy.
It's crazy. What are you feeding these children?
I don't think I cracked 200 pounds till I was like 23. And I would like work out a lot and stuff, but it took me a while.
When I was like working out heavy and stuff like that and like trying to like bulk and stuff like that, I got up there, but nowhere close to 200. Jeez. And I'm not as tall as you either. So like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy too. There's some like NFL guys, like running backs that are like 5'8", like 205. It's like, you got to be eating a crazy amount to maintain that muscle mass. Like,
dude, that was the problem with the eating, man. Like,
yeah,
so much, and it was expensive too, dude. Just like buying all that food, it stunk. It was great because if you're like bulking and like you're not super strict about it, you can, you know, cheat a little bit. And I was like hitting up like Wendy's a lot and stuff like that. But man, it was just so much.
Yeah, like I feel bad for these guys like billet parents. Like if you got like a 6'5", 210 hockey players in your house, that you're probably not giving you enough money for groceries. Like you probably need to ask for an additional grocery stipend.
I had a buddy in college who lived in Erie, and like like his dad was like a lawyer, or I guess is or was a lawyer. Like they did pretty well for themselves, and they were a billet family, and they were the billet family for Brad Boys.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, they said most of the time like the kids were good and they didn't mind, but there's like they had one or two kids. I remember them saying the names and I didn't recognize them, but like they had like some kids that were just like not good. And they're like, we're
Yeah.
not his
Oh,
like parents, but like this kid's misbehaving like crazy. Like, what do we do here?
yeah. Yeah. I always thought like when I'm older, like if I lived in a junior hockey town somehow, like I was like, I'd maybe consider being a billet parent, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's like if you get a kid that's just a pain to have
just
around, then it
yeah, man,
could be rough.
just a problem. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause it's not even like it's your actual kid either. It's just like
exactly.
a hockey player stay at your house. So I'd be like, I don't want to have to deal with this. Who are these guys? Oh, it's got to be Armstrong, right?
It's going to be great to be there and bring the team back to glory. That is Radim Mertka on the Buffalo Sabres. Hell yeah.
I mean,
I'm
Czechia
excited for him,
guys.
man. Like, let's go, dude.
Yeah, he's a younger Czechia guy. He definitely doesn't remember Hasek on the Sabres, but I imagine his dad does. Like, I imagine
I'm sure.
they're pretty. Yeah, they're like a pretty big deal, somewhat in Czechia. I mean, we even saw Victor, the Sabres fan of the year from Czechia, too. So,
Oh my God, that's right. Shout out to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Victor.
I didn't see his reaction to this, but hopefully he
We need
likes this
him
pick.
to get him over to Buffalo for like all the season just to start chanting Ukko
Yeah.
Pekka Luukkonen. Buddy, Victor, Victor. We need you, pal. I don't know if
We
you're
could get him on
watching because
episode 2 probably if we could align the time zones a little bit.
I was gonna say, are you watching us right now, Victor, at like 3?
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, yeah, the Euro Sabres fans, they stay up to watch this draft. Like I was talking to a few fans, and they're and it's so cool too to see like Sabres fans in Europe too, because this team has been so bad that the fact that we have people staying up like late at night to continue to follow this team. Like I hope when this team, like God willing, someday wins the Stanley Cup, like I hope all those people are able to make it. I hope like they're a part of the parade somehow too.
Yeah,
It's true
absolutely.
dedication.
I mean, just European fans, they just like you see it at, soccer matches and stuff like that, just like the way you see it in for hockey games. You'll see, like they got smoke and flares and all that stuff. It's like European fans, they're nuts, but like the good kind of nuts, a lot of passion. Now, yeah, sometimes they end up like fighting the crap out of each other and stuff like that. I don't want to see that. But I mean, if they can bring some of that passion and we could get some chants going in KeyBank Center, that'd be pretty cool. It's a tall ask, especially when it comes to, the team's performance. But
I know. I mean, I spent some rough nights at that arena where it's just extremely quiet and like,
yeah, it's like a library, man.
Yeah, it does feel like a library.
Weird. It's louder for like a Canisius game. Imagine being a Brentford fan. Imagine being a Wolverhampton fan.
Yeah, having
It's
your
all
games
shambles
like that.
over here, pal.
Yeah, because I feel like too. I don't know if it's just me, but every game I used to go to the Sabres, there was no one there when I used to live in Buffalo. There'd always be at least one person in my section that would be like cracking like 10 million jokes about like not knowing the rules about hockey and like asking if that's like a touchdown and be like, hit the guy. And I'm like, could you please just like not talk? Like I'm trying to watch the Sabres here, and like all you can hear, since there's no one up there, is like that one guy in their section like trying to crack a million jokes.
Dude, I remember I took my dad to a game this year for Father's Day, and we sat in like the 200s or whatever. And did I say Father's Day? I think I meant for his birthday. If I said birthday, sorry, I don't know exactly what I said. Anyway, we went to a game. We're in like the 200 seconds. The section, the people behind us like talked the entire time, and none of it was about hockey at all.
Yeah.
Entire game. One guy was obsessed with getting ice cream that game. He brought it up at least 25 times. I am not kidding. That is not an exaggeration. He mentioned it like 6 times before like warm-ups were even over. He's like, you guys getting an ice cream cone tonight? I'm like, again, like you're not doing anything wrong. Enjoy, but it was just
Yeah.
yeah, it was like oh my god, yeah.
The games are so different now from even like 2019. That's kind of like the last season of I think real Sabres hockey. Like they were still bad, but every game you go to would be like close to a sellout. You'd see like a bunch of people, like it felt like the whole community turned out. And then ever since probably after COVID, I mean Sabres have gotten, even more depressing wins loss wise. And it's just kind of sad to see because it used to be an event where there'd be 20,000 people there on a Tuesday night in February, like guaranteed. And now you're lucky to get maybe 10,000 people at those games on like those cold winter weeknights. So, someday, hopefully next season. I mean, I don't think next season based on how this off season's been going so far, but hopefully we could just get back to the Sabres games just meaning something. And I was even looking too at the TV ratings. Sabres in 2019 had I think it was like 8.13 local TV rating. And Fort Lauderdale for the Panthers Cup run, I think they averaged a 3.2 TV rating. So Sabres had a 8.19 TV rating. I think it led the NHL in 2019 for a team that was, 8 years into a playoff drought. They still had 8% of the TVs, 8% of the households tuned into Sabres games. Like the Sabres fans, I mean, it's a sleeping giant right now. So hopefully they're good.
That's another reason why it's like when people say sell the team and don't sell the team, they're gonna move them away. I'm like, the NHL knows how good of a market this is.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be super like Gary Bettman tried to keep the Arizona Coyotes there the entire time. Like he was sticking his neck out time after time to keep them there. You think he's not gonna try to do that for Buffalo? Like,
We're
sorry,
so
like
close
me
to
with that
Canada
argument.
too. Like we're
No.
technically like the second GTA team almost.
Yeah, we really are. Really are, especially for the people that are like on like the down loop of Lake
Like
Ontario.
Hamilton, St. Catharines, like that
Yeah.
area. Like
Especially
I
St.
know a bunch of
Catharines, yeah.
Sabres fans from St. Catharines that commute with like
Yeah.
season tickets. And
St. Catharines for sure. I mean, just all in that area. St. Catharines, and you kind of go, yeah, like you said, Hamilton. What was the other one I was looking at the other day?
that whole horseshoe, really.
You can get Brantford people that could probably, it's a bit far.
You even get like people from like actual like Toronto, like downtown, who are like fans of a specific player. Like if they want to watch Mikko Rantanen play, it's a lot cheaper driving out of Buffalo, even get in a hotel for the night than it is to go to like a single Leafs game. So they always have that market as well.
Yeah. I mean, Brantford to Buffalo is hour and a half. That's not terrible. On like a weeknight.
Oh,
I mean,
first goalie off the board.
first goalie
We're
off the
talking
board.
about Russian goalies. There's one of
All
them.
right.
Hopefully, there's still another left at the Sabres pick tomorrow.
After everything that she's been through, so a lot
Yeah.
of love for her and Columbus and the entire NHL community, and a lot of love for the people that hung out with us tonight because we said after the 20th pick we're probably going to cheese it out of here because this is going to go. Now that there's 32 teams, this is going to go for a while, and I think
Like
at this
going
point,
into tomorrow might not even be a break before the second round.
yeah, seriously, no, we're probably not going to hear from Kevin Adams until after midnight, so.
Yeah.
Sabres selected Radim Mertka. Last and final thoughts on the draft pick and maybe what you want to see from them tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I think it's like that offensive lineman type pick. Like this is picking like a guard that's, projects safely to the league, but isn't the sexiest pick you can make. I would have preferred them to kind of take a swing on a forward, like someone like McQueen. But at the end of the day, Merca could easily end up better than McQueen because there is a lot of risk with McQueen. So, yeah, safe, projectable pick for the Sabres. So that means tomorrow I'm kind of looking for the inverse. Like I'd like to take some swings, like to swing for some skill. Like to take some gambles. Russian goalie. I know the first one went off the board. Hopefully Frolov doesn't go tonight as well because that would that would be a fun pick too, because they do have goalie prospects, but they're always like those 6th, 7th round picks. I think they need a higher end piece in there behind Levi. I mean, I know they have Lenonen. I don't really count that, but I do think they need a higher end goalie piece.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Again, appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us tonight. Everyone in the chat, you were awesome. Definitely subscribe on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. It's definitely going to help us in the future when it comes to, bringing on some guests and just everything that comes along with just building out everything. We will obviously get better at what we're doing, but we hope that you're along with us for the entire ride. So look for more content coming out this weekend. Not exactly sure when it's coming out, but definitely by sometime Sunday, we're going to have at least some more information about tonight's pick and hopefully some more from tomorrow. So again, appreciate everyone coming out, and we will catch you on the next one.